Through the dead of night, a train clatters along the rails, windows aglow. Inside, 24-year-old Akihito Machida sighs with exhaustion. Slumped in his seat, he is completely drained after 33 days of non-stop work. Office chaos still haunts him, yet he clings to the sweet promise of tomorrow off. Daydreams of an outdoor getaway take over, imagining a peaceful camping trip in nature. Crushing fatigue drags him under, pulling his heavy body toward sleep. Heavy eyelids droop with the thought of finally resting in his own bed. Darkness swallows his mind as he falls into a deep, dreamless slumber. A violent screech of brakes jolts him awake, his eyes snapping wide in alarm. Panic surges through him upon realizing he has completely overslept his stop. Stepping onto a deserted platform, he watches the doors hiss shut and depart. An eerie wind sweeps across the empty platform, leaving him bewildered. Glancing upward, he spots a weathered signboard displaying Zoragi Station. Utterly confused, he figures his exhausted brain boarded the wrong train line. Scanning the darkened building, dread creeps in as he finds not a single staff member. Pushing aside the eerie silence, he pulls out his phone to check the map. His heart drops the moment the screen flashes. No service, severing all contact. With no schedule board in sight, he walks outside to get his bearings. Following a dark path into the woods, only his dim phone light guides the way. 2 hours later, he drops to his knees, completely and hopelessly lost. Cold sweat drips down his face as the realization hits that something is wrong. Up ahead, through the gloom, a faint glimmer radiates from a tunnel entrance. Praying, it leads to an exit. He walks toward the glow. Entering the cavern passage, his faint screen barely cuts through the deep darkness. A bizarre electronic chime echoes out, prompting him to glance down in confusion. Just as roaring waves echo around him, a blinding flash of light erupts. An intense shockwave blasts from the tunnel, throwing him off his feet. Reality dissolves into streaks of light as he is flung across space. Crashing onto unfamiliar ground, he stumbles up, muttering that this must be a lie. Sunlight blinds him atop a seaside cliff, leaving him stunned that day has broken. Looking down in shock, he finds his business suit replaced by rugged outdoor gear. Spinning around to locate the tunnel entrance, he finds it completely gone. A hard pinch to his cheek delivers sharp pain, proving this is no dream. Gazing out at the crashing waves, the sheer reality of his situation sinks in. Movement stirs behind him, followed by a soft, hesitant voice. Startled, he lets out a yelp and spins around to face the speaker. Floating right before him is a bizarre pink object shaped like a drill. Beside it stands a gorgeous young woman in an ornate dress with golden twin tails. Akihito Machida freezes, utterly captivated by how radiant and striking she is. Stepping forward with deep concern, she asks if he is uninjured. Snapping out of his daze, he bows low, apologizing for staring in his confusion. A gentle smile warms her face as she assures him that his shock is only natural. Her ship was battered by a violent storm, leaving her washed ashore here. Akihito Machida is stunned to hear she survived an actual shipwreck. Explaining that he came through a dark tunnel only leaves her utterly baffled. Aware of how absurd his tale sounds, he scratches his head in awkward silence. Recalling her courtly etiquette, she notes that they have not yet introduced themselves. Offering an elegant curtsy, she introduces herself as Olivia of House Half Paimon. Giving his name as Akihito Machida, he assumes her noble title is merely a playful persona. Olivia asks about his homeland, yet the name Japan rings completely unfamiliar to her ears. Her courteous apology for not knowing his country reveals just how noble and kind she is. He asks if she knows where this strange island is located. She reveals she was sailing from Legman Kingdom to marry the Prince of Nissel. Hearing of House Half Paimon and Royal Kingdoms makes Akihito Machida dizzy. Olivia chuckles at their shared plight, but the harsh truth finally strikes Akihito Machida. With dawning dread, he realizes he has crossed over into another world. Fantasy tropes flood his mind, making him wonder where his promised cheat powers are. A silent panic hits him, lamenting that no goddess appeared to grant him divine gifts. Olivia gently grounds him, suggesting they search the shore for other survivors. Leaning into fantasy logic, he asks whether jobs and magical skills exist here. Nodding proudly, she announces that her own combat class is Holy Knight. Taken aback, he never expected such an elegant noblewoman to hold a frontline class. Explaining that checking personal status is simple, she urges him to try it. Closing his eyes in suspense, he recites the command, status open. A luminous, translucent screen flashes into existence, taking him aback. Disbelief strikes him as he reads the single word listed for his job, camper. Staring at the interface, he wonders what kind of job a camper even is. Scanning the menu, he notes his name, his unique job, and 5 starting skill points. Checking the skill tree, he browses various abilities unlocked through points. A separate tab for camp item exchange immediately catches his interest. Skill descriptions reveal that setting up camp grants daily points and class levels. Opening the item shop reveals an endless catalog of outdoor gear, thrilling him. Weighing his options, he debates spending his 5 points on skills or gear. Olivia leans in with a warm smile, asking if he unlocked his class. With the glowing menu still open, he announces that his official job is camper. Puzzled, Olivia admits that she has never heard of such a profession. He eagerly explains that camping is all about enjoying nature and open-air cooking. Describing warm campfires under starlit skies, he watches Olivia listen with starry eyes. Flustered, he sheepishly confesses all his expertise comes from internet videos. Olivia urges urges him not to be modest, sensing his talent is greater than he knows. Clasping her hands together, Olivia beams with absolute confidence in his future greatness. Her dazzling smile hits Akihito with enough force to knock him right back. When she asks about his abilities, he panics, wondering what kind of prince she dates. Rubbing his neck, Akihito admits he has not allocated a single skill point yet. Olivia warns that how he spends those points will shape his entire life. Checking status open. He weighs the immense power of 4 bonus points a day. Setting off, he spends a single point on his body enhancement skill. Sunlight filters through the canopy as the two march deep into the woods. Gnarled roots and thick brush clutter the rough ground beneath them. Hours of searching yield zero trace of other living people. Just as Akihito notes the empty woods, Olivia stumbles from sheer physical exhaustion. Seeing her weaken, Akihito steps up with a grin and promises to provide fresh water. Olivia asks if he uses water magic, but he opens camp item exchange. A blinding flash of light erupts as he calls forth a massive container of water. The pristine 2-0 liter tank full of clean water lands right at his feet. Pointing to the tap, Akihito proudly shows off the miraculous power of a camper. Overjoyed, Olivia gladly accepts his offer of clean, fresh water. That excitement freezes as a crucial missing detail strikes her mind. Turning to him with an awkward blush, she asks if he brought along a cup. Akihito freezes in pure shock, realizing he forgot to summon anything to drink from. He calculates whether spending precious points on a cup makes sense, refusing to waste points. Olivia decides to drink straight from the spigot. Twisting the valve open unleashes a stream of refreshing clear water. Leaning down for a mouthful, she gets blasted by water spraying all over. Olivia violently chokes and sputters as the pressurized jet hits her full force. Mortified, she begs him to look away as he hands over a newly summoned cup. Akihito kicks himself for not summoning a versatile Sierra cup right away. Recovered, Olivia marvels at what she takes to be legendary magic. He spent points for it instead of using dimensional storage vortex. Olivia insists such power belongs to only 1 in 30,000 people. Hearing his basic perk called legendary leaves Akihito completely speechless. Excitedly, he explains that camp item exchange summons far more than just water. Pulling up the menu, he displays a vast catalog of modern survival gear. Olivia stares in complete silence, stunned by the endless possibilities before her. The unseen potential of a camper leaves her utterly captivated and amazed. Unaccustomed to genuine praise, Akihito feels a warm surge of pride. Former doubts about his worthless class dissolve into newfound confidence. Filled with resolve, he vows that they will survive this wild frontier together. Touched by his sincerity, Olivia softly asks him to be her friend. He agrees at once, asking her to simply call him Akihito. A firm handshake seals their brand new alliance and bond of mutual trust. Long shadows warn them to prepare shelter before night descends. Akihito selects a wide clearing for their camp, an alien concept to Olivia. Doubts linger that a highborn lady like Olivia might fear sleeping outdoors. Far from terrified, Olivia beams with excitement at the outdoor adventure. Assigned to collect firewood, she charges into the thicket with fiery enthusiasm. Heavy thuds and cracking branches echo out as Olivia gathers timber. Olivia calls out from the deep trees as Akihito waits in camp. She strolls back carrying a colossal log that would crush any normal man. Akihito stares in complete disbelief as she drops the massive trunk before him. He points out that the timber must be split smaller to catch fire. Olivia flashes a bright, determined grin upon grasping what needs doing. With one clean chop of her bare hand, she snaps the giant log in two, jaw dropping to the dirt. Akihito scrambles to comprehend that raw display. Olivia cheerfully calls it bare-handed blade, a standard Holy Knight skill. Akihito questions the terrifying power of nobility in this fantasy realm. Shock aside, he finds himself admiring her overwhelming power. A harsh rustle in the dark underbrush shatters the quiet evening. Akihito spins around immediately, his instincts screaming at the ambush. A savage, wolf-sized beast erupts from the brush and lunges into the camp. Olivia coolly identifies the ravenous monster as a dreaded devil rat. Stepping in front of him, she warns of the beast's lethal bite. Shutting her eyes, she begins an incantation, channeling holy energy. Her eyes snap wide as she finishes the final syllable of the spell. Akihito braces himself, anticipating an explosive burst of holy magic. Instead of firing a spell, she lunges and pulverizes the beast in one blow. The savage brutality of her punch leaves him standing there in total shock. Olivia bows deeply in apology, leaving Akihito utterly baffled. She laments that the makeshift branch shattered upon impact. Though she blames her own clumsiness, he notes the broken wood is ideal kindling. Akihito explains that her pulverized splinters will catch flame effortlessly. Olivia brightens right away, shifting from gloom to beaming delight. Lavish praise for his survival wits leaves him flustered and stammering. The bloody skirmish drives home the brutal reality of deadly fantasy monsters. Looking around, Akihito fully accepts this fantasy world is real. Survival demands that he secure a weapon of his own. Wood now prepared, The next hurdle is igniting a spark in the wilderness. Akihito steps up with confidence, declaring the fire is his job. Spending just 1 point, he materializes a plastic lighter with a smug grin. He flicks the flame to life, prompting Olivia to mistake it for high magic. Turning to Olivia, he asks for more of her expertly sliced kindling. Eagerly, she heaps on the wood with comical zeal, making a huge pile. A quick spark from his lighter catches the dry tinder. Flames roar to life, drawing cheers from both of them. Deep satisfaction washes over him, a joy missing from his corporate life. Adrenaline fades, leaving Olivia quiet and visibly weighed down by worry. Her betrothal comes up, leaving Akihito flustered and apologetic. Awkward silence settles between them as Akihito questions his own reaction. Refocusing on the night ahead, he calls out status open. Leaving Olivia to stand guard against night monsters alone is impossible. Securing their immediate safety takes priority over finding food. Stealing his resolve, he commits his remaining points to protect them. Olivia gazes into the crackling flames, lost in her thoughts. Turning his way, her expression softens in the warm firelight. A serene smile graces her face as she admits that today was fun. Her unexpected confession catches him completely off guard. She credits Akihito entirely for making such a harsh day enjoyable. Memories flash by, from battling monsters to setting up their camp. Quiet understanding washes over Akihito as he looks at her. Gazing into the warmth of the fire, he feels that same peace. Softly, he agrees that their shared day felt truly special. A genuine heartfelt smile spreads across his face in full agreement. Together, they share a quiet moment of mutual understanding. Glancing at his 2 remaining points, his mind is made up. To protect their fragile peace, he knows the exact skill required. Olivia notices the shift in his expression and watches him with curiosity. 2 final points are spent immediately to unlock base camp blessing. Slapping his palm to the earth, Akihito claims the campsite. A brilliant dome of golden light expands outward, sealing a barrier. Standing tall, he resolves to embrace this new world and survive. Inside their glowing sanctuary, the pair plan for the morning. Beyond the barrier, pairs of hungry predatory eyes gleam in the dark. The woods crawl with predators held back solely by his magic shield. Their campsite shines as an island of safety in a hostile wilderness. A camp flag marks the zone, cementing his fresh purpose in this realm. With danger held back, an ordinary problem strikes both of them. A sharp rumble echoes as Akihito clutches his empty stomach. Exhaustion catches up, reminding him of grueling desk jobs in Japan. Daily points cannot arrive fast enough to solve this food crisis. A glance at Olivia confirms she must be starving just as much. As the fire dies down, Olivia nervously calls out to Akihito. Pointing toward the hearth, she notes the dwindling flames. Akihito turns in alarm, well aware of the danger if the fire dies. Terror flashes in the eyes of Olivia as pitch darkness looms close. Seeing her tremble, he realizes she is terrified of the dark. Trembling, she stammers that anyone would fear this dark forest. Offering a calm, reassuring smile, Akihito promises her safety. That warm reassurance catches Olivia off guard, leaving her quiet. Patiently, he explains how small twigs can revive weak embers. Gently, he instructs her to lay dry kindling across the red coals. Her trembling hands set slender branches over the glowing coals. With a sharp crackle, brilliant flames flare back to life. Olivia gasps in delight as Akihito celebrates the blaze. Stunned by the blaze, she praises his mastery as a camper. Playfully feeding the fire, she vows not to back down before the heat. Joyful laughter escapes her, rubbing smoke from her eyes. Watching her smile, Akihito is glad her bright spirit has returned. Noticing her fatigue, he suggests they settle in for the night. Shifting her tone completely, Olivia leans toward him. She states her betrothal to the Prince of Nissel and rests nearby. Her bizarre announcement leaves Akihito blinking in disbelief. She dramatically insists she cannot draw her hyper-aura sword here. With a teasing smirk, she wonders if dating him might be thrilling. Flustered and panicking, Akihito denies having any such thoughts. She laughs off the joke, and he assures her no offense was taken. Her praise calling him a pure gentleman makes him feel oddly guilty. Scooping up armfuls of soft, dry grass, Akihito fashions 2 beds. Each lies down on a separate bed of foliage for the night. Hearing Olivia stifle a soft giggle, Akihito glances over in curiosity. When he asks what amuses her, she admits how surreal everything feels. Stranded and starving in the wilderness, she still feels a thrilling spark. With a radiant smile, she confesses this is her first truly free night. Her honest words strike a chord with the overworked office worker. Nodding along, he realizes how long he lived beneath heavy burdens. Looking up into the night canopy, wonder overtakes him. The endless expanse of brilliant starlight takes his breath away. A quiet smile forms as he enjoys having this stunning view to himself. Golden morning sunlight breaks through the dense emerald canopy. Akihito stretches as he wakes, finding Olivia still sound asleep. Drawing in crisp forest air, he relishes the joy of campsite mornings. Summoning status open, he prioritizes reviewing his accrued points. A grin forms as his unique skill awards 4 fresh points. He saves the balance until Olivia opens her eyes. Stepping over to the tank, he inspects their vital water. A firm tap against the metal brings relief. Water fills it to the brim. Checking the spigot, he hears Olivia call out his name. Sitting up, Olivia rubs sleep from her eyes and offers a warm good morning. Akihito Machida freezes, seeing her hair loose without its twin drill curls. Flustered, he pivots away and fakes another glance at his menu. Fresh water is fully restocked, He announces ready for her use. Once she finishes preparing, he promises to arrange their breakfast. Browsing the skill tree, he spots the knowledge of camp food upgrade. Visions of gourmet feasts fill his mind, yet raw ingredients remain scarce. Unlocking it now proves too risky, with 0 rations in reserve. Fully dressed and styled, Olivia announces that she is ready. Her restored noble elegance completely dazzles Akihito Machida. Such a rapid return to aristocratic grace leaves him utterly speechless. Pushing aside his hunger pangs, he promises to secure their meal. Selecting Food Gacha offers the fastest way to obtain instant rations. Tapping the interface, he prays for a dish that demands no cookware. Spending 1 point materializes a compact white cooler box. Both he and Olivia lean closer as the container lid pops open. 2 Japanese rice balls sit inside, savory tuna mayo and rich salmon. Taking a seat, Akihito Machida praises their delicious look. Olivia studies the odd triangle, questioning if it is actually food. Poised to bite, she wonders how to eat it without any utensils. Stopping her in time, he demonstrates how to strip the plastic wrapper. Fascinated, she tracks every movement of his unwrapping technique. Brimming with eager anticipation, they prepare for that initial taste. Olivia takes a cautious bite of the foreign food. Akihito Machida takes a bite as pure delight widens his eyes. In total unison, both marvel at how heavenly the humble meal tastes. Tears mist his eyes. No onigiri has ever tasted so delicious. Crisp seaweed and rich savory filling leave Olivia spellbound. Finishing his portion, he feels deep gratitude yet craves a second one. A warm smile crosses his face when Olivia begs for seconds. Breakfast concluded, he declares it is time to start their daily operations. Facing the coastline, he lays out their initial objective. A thick column of smoke rises from the signal fire they built. Olivia watches the pillar, unfamiliar with smoke signaling. The smoke beacon may alert passing ships to their location, he adds. Their goals remain finding survivors, forageable food, and fresh water. Bathing and washing their soiled gear remain just as urgent. Rubbing his shoulder, he admits 2 days without bathing feels unbearable. They march deeper into the dense, rustling forest. Vines tangle his boots, prompting Olivia to step forward with confidence. Unleashing Vance, she carves an immaculate pathway through the brush. Awe grips him. Olivia proudly calls the blow a lady's grace. Marching ahead happily, she admires the sheer power behind Vance. Her fine boot presses firmly onto the freshly opened forest floor. Deeper in the brush, Akihito Machida detects only dead silence. Closing her eyes, Olivia activates her enhanced hearing ability, senses expanding dramatically. She catches faint echoes from leagues away. Her ear twitches, locking onto a distant acoustic rhythm. Detecting running water, she points them toward the correct direction. They hurry through the thick canopy, guided entirely by her lead. Breaking into a clearing, they find a crystal-clear rushing stream. From the bank, Akihito Machida spots an unnatural width to the current. Surprise grips Olivia when he suggests the river channel is man-made. They resolve to track the stream bed, cautious of harsh terrain ahead. Farther into the woods, Akihito Machida senses an eerie aura and urges caution. He warns Olivia to stay sharp, since unknown predators may lurk nearby. Tracking the riverbank, an unusual landmark in the glade ahead makes him question what lies there. Several cleanly sheared tree stumps reveal proof that an intelligent builder worked here. Olivia gestures toward a sturdy river dam built entirely from the fallen logs. Looking past a small ridge, she spots another clearing, which he quickly verifies. Staring ahead, pure shock and wonder wash across their faces at the unexpected find. A charming cottage sits nestled right in the center of colossal, fantastical mushrooms. Olivia compares it to a fairy lodge. Akihito Machida notes it is far too tiny for humans. Excited speculation takes hold as she guesses mythical gnomes dwell within the cottage. Akihito Machida deduces that the cottage dweller was the one who felled the timber. With a sharp creak, the miniature cottage door slowly swings open. Narrowing his gaze, he braces himself to defend against whoever steps out of the hut. Instinct kicks in as the door opens. He pushes Olivia behind his back for protection. Out steps a clothed bipedal cat equipped with a satchel, displaying equal shock. The creature squeals in shock, leaving Akihito Machida stunned by the sight of a talking feline. From the mushroom grove, the small feline cautiously observes the 2 humans. Akihito Machida debates the entity's nature. It walks on 2 legs, but is it a monster? Judging strictly by outward visual traits. A simple cat in form, yet still. The creature calls them strange, but Akihito feels that should be his own line. A larger cat steps forward to calm the startled youngster. Marked by facial patches, the cat calmly identifies them as humans. Wide-eyed, the young cat asks if Akihito and Olivia are genuine humans. Hearing them speak, Akihito extends a cheerful greeting to break the ice. Tama beams in delight, marveling at a smooth human face for the first time. Asking about trade, Akihito listens as Buchi explains how things work. Both castaways freeze in shock, learning a ship docks here once a month. Hope rises in Akihito, who sees a chance to board that vessel. Relief washes over Olivia, confident she can now return to Legman Kingdom. Buchi asks if they brought trade goods, and Tama begs for tasty human food. Explaining their shipwreck, Akihito surprises both felines with the truth. Buchi understands the plight, and Tama offers heartfelt sympathy. Gratitude calms Akihito, sensing these benevolent creatures want to help. Inquiring about their location, he receives an eager answer from both cats. Buchi and Tama introduce themselves themselves as minion tribe natives of Marvel Island. Learning these cats are sacred beasts on holy ground leaves Akihito stunned. He asks about other humans, but Buchi notes the traders left days ago. Akihito gives thanks, grasping that no ship will return anytime soon. Resolved to endure, he vows to sustain Olivia through his camper craft. Turning toward Buchi and Tama, he asks where they can gather food. Buchi explains how the minion tribe fish, forage, and trade goods for magic stones. Asking about the minerals, Akihito watches Olivia identify valuable magic stones. The cats add that rare food grows in caves, but pause. Buchi warns gravely that lethal monsters prowl deep within those caverns. Startled by the grim news, Akihito knows caution must guide each step. Kindly, Buchi offers to guide them to fruit groves, which Akihito gladly accepts. They follow both guides away from the cozy minion village. Together, they trek through the dense, rustling canopy of the forest. Following the path, Olivia and Akihito cherish all the generous help. The cats also mention a nearby waterfall suited for bathing. Moved by such genuine goodwill, Olivia feels her anxious heart soothed at last, pointing to the sea. Akihito notes no ship will dock soon. Gloom grips Olivia, knowing her family faces ruin if she fails to return. She worries her betrothed. The Prince of Nissel will assume she fled the marriage. Protecting him from misunderstanding is essential. Listening intently, Akihito feels a realization dawn on him. He realizes Olivia harbors zero genuine desire for this upcoming marriage. A thundering roar of water echoes through the canopy up ahead. They reach the magnificent cascade known as the Blue Waterfall from Buchi. Akihito announces his wish to bathe and wash up, stunning Olivia. She asks in disbelief if he truly intends to bathe here, and he confirms it. Mortification grips Olivia at the mere thought of bathing beneath an open sky. With a patient smile, Akihito explains that staying clean fends off disease. She grasps his practical logic, yet hesitation leaves her flustered. He offers reassurance and brings up her pending wedding to the Prince of Nissel. Fiercely, she vows that anyone caught peeking will be forced to commit seppuku. Taken aback, Akihito learns that strict warning came from her own mother. Smiling, he tells her to wait for a helpful surprise. Spending 1 point, he manifests a kit of towels, toothbrushes, and razors. Olivia holds the toothbrush in awe, asking what gear a camper can summon. With a grin, he clarifies that his power conjures solely camping supplies. He promises to wait behind a boulder, and she gratefully takes the soft towel. Lively splashing echoes from the crystal pool resting at the foot of the falls. Olivia dips her hand into the cool, clear water. She never imagined a day would come where she would wash outdoors. Sinking in as her long hair fans out, she sighs at how wonderful the water feels. Waiting patiently, Akihito rests his back against the giant stone wall. A warm smile forms, glad she is enjoying her refreshing bath. Curiosity strikes him about her spiral drill locks and how one ever washes them. A funny vision of her battling a washboard with a stick crosses his imagination. Olivia calls out from the grove that she is finished. Turning around, Akihito hears her apologize for taking so long. He smiles, eager to take his turn in the water. With hair unbound, Olivia decides to hunt during his bath. Akihito stumbles back, startled by her unexpected plan. Flushing pink, he nods in agreement and urges her to stay safe. He asks if she truly means to hunt, and she confirms it with a beaming grin. Restored vigor means she refuses to burden him any longer. He objects, arguing that she has already provided immense support. Cutting him off, she declares with fiery pride that tonight's meet is on her. Yielding to her fire, Akihito agrees and promises to meet her at base camp. She beams happily, and he smiles back in complete trust. Waving goodbye, she departs as he marvels at her hunting prowess. Leaving clothes and boots by the shore, he wades into the stream. Splashing cool water over his head, he exhales in deep relief. Leaning back, he savors the bliss of getting thoroughly clean at last. A harsh rustling erupts from the dense bushes right beside him. He whips around in alarm, bracing for a wild beast or monster. Panic strikes, knowing that without Olivia, he is just a defenseless salaryman. Submerged in the cool pool, Akihito Machida anxiously checks his status open. A proper Santoku knife costs 5 points, far more than he can afford. Rustling branches startle him, driving home the constant danger of this island. Priorities shift to gathering food and washing clothes before Olivia returns empty-handed. Drying off, he wonders if a noble like Olivia ever had to wash laundry. Thoughts of her family burdens remind him of the heavy anxiety crushing her. Fully dressed, he credits Olivia for his survival, knowing he could never make it alone. Easing her burdens becomes his mission before any rescue ship reaches the shore. Rescue brings fresh doubt, since he has no idea how to find a way back home. Casting doubts aside, he focuses on the present to locate the hidden fruit grove. Wasting time is not an option when food must be secured before nightfall. Cutting through dense undergrowth, he nears the exact location Tama described. Reaching a quiet clearing, he marvels at a single magnificent fruit tree. Ripe clusters dangling from upper branches prove to be fresh, delicious mangoes. Standing by the massive trunk, he tries to figure out how to harvest them. One look at the slick, branchless bark makes it clear that climbing is impossible. Scanning for a usable tool, a sharp screech from above breaks his focus. An ear-splitting squawk startles him, drawing his wide eyes upward. Looking around in confusion, he doubts whether a bird truly insulted him. Another harsh screech echoes from the canopy, proving his ears did not deceive him. Perched on a high branch sit two massive, intimidating birds wearing bandanas. Disbelief freezes him as he tries to make sense of what what these bizarre beasts are. One feathered beast puffs out its chest aggressively, asserting complete dominance. It swoops down to a lower bough, locking him in a hostile, unblinking glare. Hearing the fowl label him a small fry stings his pride immediately. Chest puffed out in defiance, the beast chirps that its eyes are locked on him. Akihito stands stunned, caught off guard by the creature's filthy vocabulary. Taunting from their high perch, the birds mockingly ask if the runt wants fruit. Tearing into ripe mangoes in front of him, they gulp with noisy delight. Attempting diplomacy, he politely asks whether they would be willing to share, looking down its beak in smug contempt. One fowl demands to know what they gain. Admitting he holds nothing of value now, he offers to repay their kindness later. Listening with total skepticism, the two feathered bullies dismiss his empty pledge. Sneering down at him, the bird demands he drop to his knees and beg for food. The creature's nasty spite stuns Akihito, leaving his friendly plans in ruin. They harbor no intent to help, caring only about mocking and humiliating him. Refusing to play along, he turns away and ignores the obnoxious bullies. Enraged by his silent dismissal, the bird screeches at him to get lost and scram. Circling overhead as he retreats, they shower him with relentless taunts. Raucous jeers follow his steps, ordering him to go starve out in the wild. Testing luck on food gacha beats dealing with those unbearable winged pests. Stirring bushes startle him as a warm voice asks what went wrong. Buchi steps out, asking about mangoes after noticing his exhausted face. Relief washes over Akihito upon seeing his friendly minion tribe ally. Quickly, he recounts the infuriating run-in with two foul-mouthed birds. Buchi identifies the culprits as the Albert tribe, another clan of sacred beasts. Hearing Buchi confirm their notorious deceit, Akihito understands completely. Asked by Buchi if humans cannot climb, Akihito admits the fault is his alone. With a resigned sigh, Buchi steps forward to resolve the issue personally. Displaying effortless feline agility, Buchi scales the trunk as Akihito cheers. Minutes later, Buchi drops down with a jacket overflowing with ripe mangoes. Heartfelt gratitude comes from Akihito, leading Buchi to offer a trade. Buchi mentions a craving for razor clams, a term Akihito repeats in wonder. As Buchi describes the slender shell, Akihito recognizes how to harvest it. Vowing to catch the bounty, Akihito hears Buchi cheerfully advise patience. Driven by newfound purpose, Akihito heads straight toward the coastline. Carrying a jacket full of mangoes, he drops the bounty off at camp first. Crashing ocean waves signal that he has finally reached the open shoreline. Walking across damp sand, he takes in the sparkling ocean stretching before him. Scanning the tide flats, he quickly spots the telltale holes of the clams. Crouching low, he recalls a TV program on drawing them out with salt. Clarity strikes. The absolute first thing he must obtain is pure salt. Checking status open, he spots a bag of salt priced at his last 2 points. Refusing to waste precious points, he chooses a far more sustainable path. Spending those final points, he summons a sturdy metal cooking pot from his menu. Holding the pot high, he announces his plan to extract pure salt from the ocean. Applying old science lessons, he stacks stones to build a compact makeshift stove. By his math, 2 liters of seawater ought to yield 60 grams of usable salt. Lighting the damp twigs blows a thick cloud of acrid smoke right into his face. Violent coughs rack his lungs as he waves away the choking, stinging smoke. Rubbing his burning eyes, he wishes he had a cheap fire starter for Olivia. Recognizing the kindling is soaked with moisture, he must collect drier timber. A heavy sigh escapes his lips as the sheer difficulty of the task sinks in. Dropping to his knees in despair, he dreads the shame of failing Buchi. Memories of the kindness shown by Buchi stir deep inside his chest. Grim resolve hardens his expression, banishing any thought of quitting now. Tightening his fists, an unyielding drive to honor that friendship takes over. Armed with fresh energy, he sprints back into the tree line to haul dry timber. Hours slip past as he tends the blaze tirelessly, boiling batch after batch of brine. He swears an ironclad oath that he will conquer this fire and deliver the salt. The long boiling ordeal pays off as white salt crystals finally form. Akihito raises the pot with pride, admiring his hard-won salt harvest. A quick pinch tastes rich and savory, rewarding all of his patience. Worn out from the labor, he collapses onto the sand to rest his body. Gazing across the open ocean, he relishes the raw joy of crafting by hand. Dusk approaches, so he postpones harvesting clams until Olivia returns. Back at camp, he spots Olivia pale, her proud drill curls drooping limp. Her crushed, sickly state strikes him hard, leaving him frantic to know what happened. Darting to Olivia, he asks why her proud drills have gone so flat. Bowing her head in shame, she stammers apologies for failing the hunt. Speaking softly, he comforts her and insists she did nothing wrong. She found a deer, but her holy night vows kept her from slaying it. Akihito encourages her to stay strong, fully grasping the moral dilemma. To lift her spirits, he brings out the fresh mangoes gifted by Buchi. Sharing sounds best. 1 mango for tonight and the rest tomorrow. Knowing noblewomen rarely peel fruit, he removes the skin for her. Biting deep into the fruit, he demonstrates firsthand how sweet it is. Delight fills his face as he declares this the finest mango he ever tasted. Olivia watches his excitement, her heavy gloom fading under his infectious warmth. Offering the rest, he urges her to taste the delicious tropical fruit. With a soft gasp, Olivia takes a bite of the fruit Akihito offers. Surprise widens her eyes as she whispers how delicious the fruit is. Resting near the fire, she looks at him him and offers heartfelt thanks. Akihito notes her lingering sadness, missing her usual vibrant fire. Chewing in silence, he brainstorms ways to restore her bright smile. Determination fills his eyes as he resolves to dig up a bounty of clams for her. One heavy raindrop smacks the dry dirt beside his boot, ending the calm. A cold splash hits his cheek, confirming a storm approaches rapidly. Overhead, the dark clouds break into a torrential downpour. Akihito shouts to check on Olivia as she cowers beneath the pelting rain. Sizzling under the deluge, their vital campfire drowns in an instant. Akihito instructs her to hold tight as he prepares to summon shelter. Checking his menu, he spots a handy tarp priced at only 1 point. Materializing a massive blue tarp, he promises it will keep them dry. Grabbing a thick branch, he converts it into a central support post. Fighting the wind to secure the tarp, he notices their fire is dead. Knowing darkness will distress her, an abrupt sound makes him flinch. Olivia hurls herself into his arms, clutching his shirt in desperation. Akihito freezes in utter disbelief, baffled by her tight embrace. Olivia presses her face into his chest, shutting out the storm. Looking at her shivering frame, he asks what is hurting her so badly. Trapped in the storm, Akihito embraces her as her fists grip his shirt. Staring across the dark campsite, he struggles to make sense of her breakdown. A chilling realization strikes him. Olivia is suffering deeply. Filled with concern, he leans close to ask what has happened to her. Violent tremors rack her body, prompting him to ask if she is unharmed. Through choked whimpers, she gasps about the suffocating darkness. Clarity hits him. She does not fear the rain, but the dark itself. Pulling her under the tarp, he realizes her sheer fear runs unnatural. Whispering gently, he assures her that everything will be all right. Holding the tarp against the wind, he promises to stay right by her side. Crouching tensely beneath the cover, he sees no end to the raging storm. Glancing inward, he finds Olivia curled up, shivering uncontrollably. Witnessing her tremble leaves him overwhelmed with helplessness. His knuckles whiten in frustration at his inability to ease her pain. An unexpected surge of warm energy floods through his entire body. Feeling this power, he wonders if his camper perks just triggered. The truth hits him. Another night of camping leveled him up. With replenished points, he promises Olivia that everything is fine now. Trapped in sheer panic, Olivia shivers, hands locked over her eyes. Spending 2 points, he manifests a bright solar lantern in a radiant flash. Offering the lantern forward, he apologizes for the delay in finding a light. Olivia looks up, her tear-filled eyes widening at the comforting glow. Smiling warmly, he reassures her this light will never go out. Tearful eyes glowing with gratitude remain locked on his kind face. Placing the lantern beside her, he sets a bright haven in the darkness. Dawn arrives with calm skies as the fierce storm clears away entirely. Golden rays pierce the canopy, dripping with fresh moisture from the rain. Akihito stretches his limbs wide, refreshed after a solid rest. Standing tall, he proclaims that clear skies make this a great day. He notes with relief that the lantern helped Olivia sleep in peace. Watching her slumber, he wonders if trauma left her terrified of the dark. Choosing not to pry, he resolves to wait until she wants to share her past. He vows to safeguard her smile for as long as they stay on this island. Preparing to spend fresh points for her sake, a new prompt halts him. His menu unlocks the skill point roulette granted by his level up. The skill point roulette can be spun once every 2 days of camping. Tapping the start icon, he eagerly tests his luck. Spun at full speed, the wheel blurs as he prays for a jackpot. With a sharp shout of resolve, he strikes the button mid-spin. The wheel lands on 1-9, bringing Akihito's total to 2-4 points as he cheers. Flush with new points, Akihito unlocks knowledge of camp food first. A soft glow wraps around him the moment the new skill takes hold. Another cheer follows after unlocking Pro of Preparation to master every ingredient. Every creature Olivia hunts can now be processed and cooked to perfection. Akihito spends his remaining points on camping gear chosen just for Olivia. His only goal is bringing her comfort so terror never grips her again. Nearby, Olivia rests peacefully, curled into a tight ball for warmth. Dawn breaks over a quiet camp. As flames crackle softly in the morning chill, Olivia stirs awake in deep embarrassment, apologizing for her vulnerable state. A warm morning greeting comes from Akihito as she peeks out from the shelter. Brushing off her apologies, he gently asks if she feels rested. Revealing his surprise, Akihito presents a brand new tarp bought to lift her spirits. Explaining the magic glow woven into the fabric, he invites her to build it together. Warmth fills Olivia upon realizing he bought all this equipment solely for her. Before building, Akihito prepares breakfast with leftovers and his food gacha. Food gacha dispenses a fresh box of instant clam chowder powder. A full outdoor cookware set materializes to help him craft a hot meal. Olivia watches with rapt fascination as the unfamiliar powder fills the bowls. Boiling kettle water hits the mix, sending rich, savory steam into the air. Handing her a bowl, Akihito instructs her to stir well and inhale the aroma. Lifting the spoon, Olivia takes a delicate, tentative sip of the hot broth. Her eyes sparkle with delight as she murmurs how wonderful it tastes. Closing her eyes, she savors the deep warmth spreading through her chest. A gentle smile graces Akihito's face, grateful to see her spirit finally at peace. Full of renewed energy, Olivia volunteers to tackle all the heavy lifting for the tent. Akihito welcomes her enthusiasm and agrees it is time to begin. win. Side by side, Akihito demonstrates how to secure the tension ropes to the frame. Every knot delights Olivia, giving her freedom she was denied as a noble. Pondering her past, Akihito reflects on her sheltered life, forbidding cooking or cleaning. A pang of deep sympathy strikes him over how suffocating her aristocratic cage had been. One last tug secures the canvas, standing as a proud triumph for the pair. Gazing up in awe, Olivia whispers that she has never built a shelter with her own hands. Soft affection and quiet understanding shine in Akihito's eyes as he looks at her. With camp established, he proposes heading down to the shore for clam digging. The duo reaches the coast where gentle ocean waves lap against the sandy shore. Dropping to his knees, Akihito shows her how to spot tiny breathing holes in the sand. He sprinkles coarse salt directly into the burrow to bait the shellfish outward. A long razor clam instantly shoots out from the wet sand with a distinct pop. Akihito snatches the prize midair, raising their first catch in victory. Holding the dripping shell aloft, he celebrates their instant success. Passing the salt to a wide-eyed Olivia, he urges her to try harvesting one herself. Total excitement grips Olivia as she proclaims clam digging to be pure magic. Her holy knight agility takes over as she darts across the beach collecting shells. The harvest halts abruptly once the salt shaker runs completely dry. Counting the bucket, Akihito notes their small haul will barely feed everyone. Olivia faces him with absolute determination flashing in her eyes. Vowing to dig by raw force, she releases a devastating burst of martial energy. Dozens of unearthed razor clams rain from above, stunning Akihito completely. Their collection bucket overflows to the brim, completing the gather in seconds. The mountain of fresh razor clams exceeds anything they hope to harvest. Olivia beams with joy, eager to treat the minions to a proper gratitude feast. Setting off to invite their minion friends, Olivia leaves Akihito to prep the shellfish. Akihito activates Pro of Preparation to handle the mountain of razor clams. His chi power instantly cleans and purges the sand from every single shell. Resting by the fire, Akihito awaits the arrival of their dinner guests. Olivia steps into camp guiding an ecstatic Buchi and Tama toward the feast. Presenting their hard work, Akihito unveils the massive haul of pristine clams. He steps aside humbly, assigning every bit of credit for the haul to Olivia. Buchi produces a surprise gift from his pack, a generous block of rich butter. Offering her the skillet, Akihito urges Olivia to cook the clams herself. She hesitates with wide eyes, confessing she has never prepared food before. Drawing a steadying breath, Olivia resolves to give cooking her greatest effort. Rich butter melts into the skillet as the razor clams sizzle enticingly. Panic flares when grease pops, yet Akihito calms her with steady guidance. Mouth-watering aroma leaves the minions drooling in sheer anticipation. Olivia plates the butter-sautéed clams with trembling hands and sets them down. The famished minions waste no time diving straight into the fragrant platter. A synchronized roar of pure bliss erupts from the cats at the first bite. She timidly requests their verdict and receives glowing, ecstatic praise. Tama bows with genuine gratitude, thanking her for cooking such a masterpiece. Tears well up as Olivia reels from praise earned through her own honest labor. Urging her onward, Akihito hands her a fork to taste the fruits of her cooking. She lifts a steaming clam and hesitantly takes her initial bite. A rush of profound emotion floods her heart the second flavor hits her tongue. The rich, savory taste proves so exquisite that tears begin spilling down her cheeks. Noticing her wet cheeks, Akihito asks softly if something is wrong. Wiping her eyes in a hurry, Olivia assures him that nothing is amiss. She confesses her absolute shock at how flavorful her first culinary attempt turned out. Akihito watches her glow with quiet pride, a tender smile warming his face. Forget the noble burdens and just live freely, he urges. True freedom strikes Olivia like a pure revelation. Her deepest secret remains safe with him, he promises. Simple joys no longer bring harsh aristocratic judgment. At last, Olivia realizes she can finally be herself. Unwavering support backs Olivia in this newfound freedom. Such genuine kindness touches Olivia to her core. Immense gratitude fills Olivia as their eyes meet. A radiant smile breaks across her face, thanking him warmly. That radiant grin makes his heart skip a beat. Returning a warm grin, he confirms the feeling is mutual. Pure, quiet happiness wraps around the pair together. The minion tribe comically misinterprets her tears. Olivia tries explaining, yet the cats find her logic absurd. Loud praise for her cooking turns into pleas for another meal. Brimming with pride, Olivia gladly agrees to cook again. Akihito Machida feels relief witnessing her joyful confidence. Unburdened laughter rings out from Olivia. Festivities continue around camp as everyone clamors for more. Deep into the night, an odd sound echoes from the shore. Ocean waves part as a massive silhouette rises. From afar, a sea lion watches the camp quietly. Morning arrives, waking Akihito Machida refreshed. Memories of last night's clam feast warm his mind. Status open reveals 9 skill points ready to spend. The time has arrived to finally unlock a combat skill. Olivia offers a warm greeting as he weighs his builds. Freshly boiled tea is handed over in a warm cup. His tactical plan centers on mastering the axe. Olivia agrees, confident she can cover swordsmanship alone. Balancing each other's combat weaknesses makes perfect strategy. An unspoken bond of solid teamwork takes root between them. With the battle tactics settled, focus shifts to breakfast. Akihito Machida knows a single banana will not sustain them. Spinning food, Gacha yields a whole container of potatoes. Olivia eagerly volunteers to cook cook under his instruction. Sparkling clean, the washed potatoes are displayed with pride. With explosive energy, Olivia chops through the potatoes. Excitement builds as she watches the cooking pot boil. Their last salt goes in alongside rich butter from Bucci. A simple yet mouth-watering breakfast of butter potatoes is served. Forks glide effortlessly into tender boiled potato. Taking a bite fills both of them with pure delight. Shared tranquility settles over them during the meal. Akihito Machida admits a craving for meat and fish. Olivia fiercely vows that tonight's dinner will feature meat. Sprinting off to hunt, she takes his warm wishes. Fired up by her drive, he resolves to catch fish. Reaching the rocky shore, he prepares to start fishing. Bucket ready, he kneels by the tide pool. Crystal water reveals tiny crabs and fish swimming below. Doubts linger about whether these creatures are edible. Akihito Machida reviews his skill tree for the next upgrade. An odd presence forces his gaze away from the water. Perched upon a rock, a sea lion watches him intently. Bad memories of the Albert tribe birds keep him on guard. Choosing diplomacy, he cautiously calls out to it. The sea lion casts a cold, dismissive glance. Snubbing the greeting, the creature turns clean away. Just before he gives up, the beast grunts to listen. On the rocky shore, Akihito Machida introduces himself to Toby, the vested sea lion. Pointing at the tide pool, he asks if small crabs and fish are safe to eat. A gruff bark confirms they can be eaten, though the flavor is nothing special. Akihito Machida offers thanks regardless, explaining that any food is deeply welcome. Giving a non-committal grunt, the sea lion turns its head away in total apathy. A powerful splash sends the beast diving beneath the rolling ocean waves. Unsure if the beast dislikes humans, Akihito Machida resolves to try fishing alone. Bare hands plunge into the tide pool to grab the tiny sea critters. Minutes pass in clumsy splashing as slippery prey constantly eludes his grasp. 10 full minutes of effort finally yield a single, minuscule fish held high. Pride in the tiny catch quickly fades with the reality of how slow this is. Tossing the fish back, he realizes a proper fishing rod is essential. A loud splash jolts him as something heavy lands on the rock beside him. Before him lies a magnificent bundle of large fish tied neatly with seaweed. That familiar grunt proves the sea lion retrieved this entire haul for him. Another swift splash carries the generous sea lion back into the deep ocean. Overwhelmed with gratitude, Akihito Machida cups his hands and shouts his thanks. Hauling the pot of fish, he marvels at how far that kind beast went to help him. The unbelievable freshness of the gift leaves him feeling humbled and awkward. Unwilling to hoard the feast alone, he heads straight toward Minion Village. Giant mushrooms tower over Minion Village as he arrives at the settlement. Bucci greets him with a warm smile, thrilled to welcome the traveler back. Tama dashes forward with a twitching nose, eager to learn what brought him. Unveiling the fish, Akihito Machida sees the Minion tribe sparkle with joy. Praised as a master angler, he clarifies that a sacred beast gifted him the catch. Hearing the details, Bucci identifies the generous creature as an Ashika tribe member. Scallop shells serve as hats for the Ashika tribe, who faithfully serve half fishmen. That sea lion belongs to the Ashika tribe, Akihito Machida realizes. Curious about their nature, he asks if the Ashika tribe harbors hatred for humans. Bucci explains that the Ashika tribe is a people torn by inner contradictions. Akihito Machida asks Bucci to clarify what those contradictions mean. Shyness and kindness define them, Bucci notes, making socialization hard. Though they crave grilled fish, their awkwardness around fire often leaves them scorched. Such perpetual inner stress, Bucci chuckles, even gives them comical stiff shoulders. The Minion tribe urges kindness toward the Ashika tribe, and Akihito Machida nods. Returning to camp with Olivia, he prepares to cook the generous seafood gift. Activating Pro of preparation, he readies the whole catch for the fire instantly. The cleaned fish rests across a wooden plank, ready for the crackling flames. Spending a single point, he summons a sharp Santoku knife for cooking duties. Salt grilled mackerel and soup will make a fine treat for the Minion tribe. Sizzling fish fills the air before Olivia calls his name from the tree line. Olivia trudges back from hunting, thoroughly dejected under a dark cloud of gloom. He hands her the grilled fish, and the delicious aroma instantly restores Olivia. Admitting he did not catch it alone, he invites her to eat as they converse. Sharing the strange tale, he describes meeting that kind member of the Ashika tribe. Olivia listens in wonder, amazed by the incredible event that took place today. Though eager to form a bond, he confesses his fear that the beast disliked him. Turning toward him with absolute seriousness, Olivia catches him off guard. With fierce certainty, Olivia declares that he will win their trust without doubt. Such unconditional trust makes his heart skip a beat, leaving him flustered. Her gentle heart moves him deeply as Olivia demonstrates such strong belief in him. Thanking her, he promises to return to the ocean and meet the creature again. Joy at their growing bond mixes with caution, mindful of the perils of the wild. He knows Olivia must leave Marvel Island the moment a rescue vessel arrives. Facing their inevitable farewell already weighs on his chest with sharp, quiet ache. Flames from the campfire remind him that their day of parting draws ever nearer. Shaking off doubt, he chooses to cherish every moment they share now. Olivia gives thanks for the food and vows to hunt with redoubled intensity. Exchanging good wishes, she heads into the forest to hunt once more. Watching her depart into the trees, he resolves to remain watchful. Knowing the Ashika tribe loves cooked fish, he brings a grilled treat as a gift. Standing along the rocky coast, he scans the horizon for his sea lion companion. Spotting the beast perched on a distant stone, he shouts shouts out, "There you are." Stepping forward with a soft greeting, he takes care not to spook the shy beast. Startled by the approach, the sea lion flinches and prepares to dive underwater. Calling out for it to wait, Akihito Machida offers the fish as gratitude. Pausing on the wet rock, the sea lion learns the fish is a true gift. Asked if it dislikes seafood, the creature shakes its head and glances away. That bashful reaction hints that the creature secretly loves the food. Setting the platter down, he expresses deep gratitude for the previous feast. Waddling closer with great caution, the sea lion digs into the hot grilled fish. Crouching close by, Akihito Machida smiles as the animal relishes the food. Introducing himself once more with respect, he gently asks the beast for its name. Staring out across the ocean, the sea lion barks, "Toby." Smiling with delight, Akihito Machida thanks Toby for sharing his name. Toby casts a bashful sideways glance, clearly pleased by the warm reception. Turning back to the water, the creature munches happily on his snack. Seeing such goodwill, Akihito Machida regards Toby as a noble, sacred beast. Deep gratitude prompts him to find a worthy way to repay Toby later. Out in the ocean, a dark, menacing shape surges up from the depths. Under the rolling waves, two glowing, predatory eyes glare from the murky deep. A giant monster breaches the surface in a violent explosion of white spray. Akihito Machida and Toby reel in shock from the violent oceanic eruption. Ducking low by instinct, Akihito Machida braces against the violent spray. As the titan crashes down, Akihito Machida lunges forward to shield Toby. Looming directly overhead, a terrifying tentacled titan blocks out the sky. Asking if Toby is unharmed, he watches the sea lion offer a quick nod. Toby shakes the brine from his head, his face contorting into sheer irritation. The heavy splash knocks that prized scallop shell hat completely crooked. Slipping off his crown, the shell clatters onto the wet stones below. Letting out an annoyed yelp, Toby scrambles to grab his beloved shell cap. Two sleek killer whales break the surface, chattering excitedly toward Toby. Utter confusion grips Akihito Machida as the sea beasts radiate playful energy. Toby gestures for him to step back, only deepening the bizarre mystery of the moment. It strikes Akihito Machida with a shock that these beasts are all playful pranksters. Toby grumbles that mischievous half-fishman taught him such infuriating habits, baffled beyond words. Akihito Machida listens to this absurd excuse from the sea lion. Playfully swatting Toby, the giant fish knocks him splashing into the ocean. Waves turn white as the bizarre procession of marine pranksters swims away. Sitting on the shoreline, Akihito Machida watches the waves in utter bewilderment. From the cliff edge, Akihito Machida calls out, asking if Toby is safe. Lingering worry gnaws at him that the wild prank might keep Toby away today. That wild sight of the giant fish and killer whales replays in his head. A sharp regret lingers over not properly thanking Toby for that fresh fish. Those sad words about half-person status still echo in his thoughts. Determined to see his friend again, he decides to wait just a bit longer. Resting on the cliff, he wishes there was some way he could help. Foaming bubbles rupture the tranquil surface of the calm ocean water. With a huge splash, Toby leaps energetically from the sea. Akihito Machida spots the two killer whales giving joyful chase behind him. He calls to Toby as the sea lion affectionately nudges against him. Toby slides back into the water with a playful, mischievous glint in his eye. With a quick wink, he dives back into the breaking waves. Off in the distance, the killer whales resume their lively game with Toby. The ocean churns with foaming spray in their wild play. Scanning the coastline, Akihito Machida finds his friend is gone. A dark silhouette on a distant rock catches his eye, resembling Toby. As the beast turns, a sharp jolt of terror strikes Akihito. Snarling viciously, a monstrous devil rat bares its lethal fangs. Pure terror widens the eyes of Akihito Machida. Cold dread washes over him, trapped face to face with a deadly beast. Panic sets in. For his protector, Olivia is nowhere to be found. Patting his pockets in a rush, he realizes he is completely unarmed and alone. Sharp claws dig into stone as the predator coils to lunge forward. It leaps through the air in a blur of mangy fur and raw fury. Diving backward onto the dirt, he barely dodges those snapping jaws. Scrambling back, his feet slip across the uneven rocks. Olivia claimed these beasts were weak, but her words bring no relief. Facing that horrific maw up close, he vehemently disagrees. Without any weapon in hand, he stands absolutely zero chance. A second devil rat joins the fray, relentlessly closing the distance. Terror grips him as he realizes he is about to be cornered. Desperate for a weapon, he urgently triggers his status open interface. Fierce jaws snap shut the exact instant he makes a split-second choice. Radiant light flashes as a heavy metal tool materializes in his grip. He roars in defiance as the axe forms in his grip. Swinging with all his power, the axe bites home with a brutal, crushing thud. A second crushing blow finishes the beast in a bloody spray of gore. Screeching in horror, the second devil rat flees deep into the wilderness, panting hard. He watches it vanish and wonders if he truly drove it away. Exhaustion drops him to the ground, stunned that he barely made it out alive. Gloved fingers tremble around the axe handle from the rush of adrenaline. Slumped among jagged rocks, he stares down at the slain monster. His mind turns to Olivia, who would have slain such a beast effortlessly. Clenching his fist, he vows to ask her for combat training from now on. Nearby, a familiar head breaks through the surface of the water. Toby calls out to Akihito Machida with an anxious look. Relief and worry mix in a soft sigh from the loyal young sea lion. Akihito Machida turns around in pure relief. Catching sight of Toby in the water, he hears a friendly call. Joy fills Akihito Machida as he explains how much he wanted to talk. Toby chirps, asking if that message was for him. Hauling onto the rocks, he nudges Akihito to check for injuries. Smiling warmly, Akihito Machida confirms he is unharmed, merely shaken. Toby offers an apology, explaining he swam too far away to help in time, thanking him for the care. Akihito asks if Toby recovered from the wild prank. Toby clarifies that the wild stunt was his odd way of offering thanks. A deep warmth touches Akihito at this odd, heartfelt gesture. Toby rests quietly beside him, their friendship now firmly established. Following a brief silence, Toby happily shifts to a brand new topic. Shyly, he speaks of how delicious the grilled fish tasted. Pleasantly surprised, Akihito gives him a warm thanks. Flashing a wide, genuine smile, he assures Toby he is welcome. He promises another feast for more fresh fish, making his friend nod eagerly. Curious, Akihito asks why the others labeled him a half-person. Gazing down sadly, Toby wonders why others treat him so harshly. In the Ashika tribe, hats serve as a sacred symbol of adulthood. Every clan member must claim one as an essential rite of passage. Though his peers already wear theirs, he still searches without one. No one swims farther than him in the tireless hunt across the seas. Bearing the shame of a half-person, he feels he cannot complain. In open vulnerability, he rests his head against the shoulder of Akihito. Akihito Machida insists with passion that Toby works hard and is blameless. He reassures Toby that he is kind, diligent, and merely unlucky. Stunned by such kindness, Toby calls Akihito a strange human. Fresh curiosity and deep respect shine in the eyes of the sea lion. Deep in thought, Akihito weighs what hats mean to the Ashika tribe. A brilliant flash of inspiration strikes his mind. He asks Toby what kind of hat he desires to wear. The moment Toby answers straw hat, the plan becomes clear. Spending a single point, Akihito Machida conjures a fine straw hat. He hands the straw hat to Toby as a reward for his earlier kindness. Stunned with tearful eyes, Toby asks if the gift is truly for him. Confirming the gift, Akihito Machida watches Toby gladly take it. Gripping the woven straw with deep reverence, Toby gazes in wonder. Carefully, Toby sets the new straw hat upon his head. Striking a proud pose, Toby beams as Akihito Machida calls it perfect. Deeply moved, Toby thanks Akihito Machida again and again. Pure gratitude leaves the sea lion speechless. A warm smile crosses Akihito Machida, glad his friend loves the gift. He hopes they can sit and share another quiet chat soon. Side by side on the coastal rocks, the pair gazes out at the calm sea. A quiet bond of true friendship settles over them along the shore. Farther away, scouts from the Albert tribe watch them suspiciously. Returning to camp, Akihito Machida hauls a firewood log in his axe. One clean, powerful chop splits the heavy wood cleanly in half. Muscle memory takes over as his camper craftsmanship guides every strike. Holding a proper cutting tool fills him with a deep sense of achievement. He tallies the long road and every point spent to reach this day. A confident grin forms, since the dawn of a new day brings fresh gains. Posing dramatically, Akihito Machida triggers the skill point roulette. Emerging from the tent, a sleepy Olivia bids him a good morning. Lost in a morning daze, she loses her footing and tumbles forward. Her falling hand strikes the stop button right on his floating menu. Both of them crash to the dirt in an awkward, tangled heap. Face to face, he asks if she is hurt as she stammers an apology. Embarrassment grips Olivia as the extreme closeness dawns upon her. Scrambling backward, Olivia offers frantic apologies for the clumsy spill. Glancing at the interface, Akihito Machida gasps at his 3-6-point win. All composure vanishes as he belts out a triumphant roar for the jackpot. He showers praise upon a baffled Olivia who has zero clue what just occurred. Flush with points, he purchases an entire suite of restoration skills. Next, he materializes a Santoku knife to empower his pro of preparation. Eyes wide with wonder, Olivia inspects the newly materialized blade. Left with extra points, he decides to purchase a proper morning meal. 2 spins on the food gacha will fetch them a proper morning meal. Right before them, an appetizing club sandwich materializes out of light. He rejoices over his fortune, and Olivia marvels at the mouth-watering food. The second food gacha drop emerges as a plain, large white tub, unveiling rich ice cream inside. He watches Olivia beam with boundless joy for sweets. Olivia fears it will melt, but Akihito Machida offers to treat the minion tribe. Feeling the day warm up, she wishes her ice magic could keep it cool. With a knowing grin, Akihito Machida has just the right solution. He conjures a large cooler chest paired with a magic refrigerant pack. Olivia eagerly takes charge of infusing the cooling pack with her power. They arrive at Minion Village, nestled beneath colossal mushrooms. Buchi greets the pair warmly as they haul the large cooler inside. Gathering round, the minion tribe asks about the mysterious box. Grinning warmly, Akihito Machida reveals he brought a delicious feast. The promise of delicious food sends waves of pure frenzy through the crowd. Opening the cooler, he announces that there is plenty of ice cream for all. Gazing at the pale, cold swirl, the minion tribe questions if it is edible. Olivia notes their confusion, so Akihito Machida invites them for a taste. Stepping forward, Buchi swallows the first spoonful under watchful eyes. Akihito Machida and Olivia hold their breath, awaiting his verdict. His eyes shoot wide open as Buchi releases an earth-shaking roar of bliss. Proclaiming it heavenly, he admits he severely misjudged Akihito Machida. Smiling brightly, Olivia organizes the eager minion tribe into a line. Radiating joy, Olivia finds happiness serving her new friends. Watching her smile, Akihito Machida sees this as a novel feeling for her. Buchi teases Akihito Machida to stop staring and get a bowl for himself. Eagerly, the minion tribe devours huge spoonfuls of the frosty treat. One cat villager savors every icy drop of the rich, creamy confection. Pure euphoria sweeps the settlement, all praising the taste of heaven. Clamoring for more, the villagers say they could eat this daily. Worshipful chants rise, praising Akihito Machida as a divine provider. An excited member of the minion tribe demands a bronze monument in his honor. Olivia chuckles at the image of Akihito Machida as the dessert god. Flustered, Akihito Machida clarifies it requires merely milk and eggs. Stunned, a villager asks if he can truly prepare it by hand. He notes goat milk works, so bird eggs remain the only missing item. Pondering deeply, Buchi considers where to locate fresh bird eggs. Akihito Machida frets over the Albert tribe, yet Buchi brushes the thought off. Buchi explains no chickens exist here, though another wild bird does. Puzzled, Akihito Machida asks what other bird eggs they could hunt. Growing deadly serious, Buchi names their terrifying objective, the colossal rock. He details a 12-meter monster roosting 40 kilometers in the distance. Buchi warns that anyone caught stealing a rock egg faces certain death. Unshaken, the minion tribe deems the lethal risk worth more ice cream. Tama boldly proposes that instead of stealing an egg, they capture a live rock. Eyes sparkling, Olivia adds that tender rock meat is also delicious. The minion tribe celebrates, picturing roasted rock and ice cream. A small hunting squad forms Akihito Machida, Olivia, Buchi, and Tama. Dread hits Akihito Machida, fearing he made a terrible sinful mistake. Reviewing his build, he weighs which abilities to purchase for this dangerous trek. Allocating spare points, he unlocks the vital power of edibility judgment. He promptly unlocks beginner's movement magic to secure an emergency escape. With gear and spells prepared, the brave little squad stands ready to depart. Into the deep, imposing wilderness march the four comrades. Buchi warns Tama to watch his footing as the trail turns treacherous. Tama snorts back that he stays careful, unlike the clumsy Buchi. Right on cue, Tama snags a rogue vine and gets hoisted into midair. A panicked cry escapes Buchi, fearing for his friend. The elder shouts to sever the tightening snare before it crushes Tama. Akihito Machida gets an instant flash of insight on how to help. Stepping forward with calm resolve, he promises to handle the rescue. Unsheathing his blade, he pinpoints the exact weak spots to strike. Triggering Pro of Preparation, his hands accelerate into a blinding blur. Flashing, razor-sharp cuts slice the thick coil into pieces in an instant. Tama drops safely to the moss, completely unscathed by the lethal snare. Scooping up the dizzy feline, Akihito Machida exhales in sweet relief. Olivia rushes over to inspect Tama, finding him shaken but uninjured. The minion tribe thanks Akihito Machida and Olivia with pure joy. Olivia praises his bladecraft, yet he clarifies it stems from culinary training. From the leafy canopy, a mocking presence casts an ominous shadow. A sneering voice jeers, asking if they plan to eat the minion tribe next. Akihito Machida recognizes the obnoxious squawk and glares upward. Two scouts from the Albert tribe perch aloft, mocking their reliance on human allies. Tama puffs up in outrage, and Akihito Machida swears he had no meal plans. Taking wing, the rude pests jeer that humans pose no danger at all. Buchi notes the setting sun and urges everyone to keep moving. With a nod, Akihito Machida resumes the hike along the path. Pointing ahead, Buchi highlights the jagged slope guarding the rock nest. Scaling the jagged cliff face, the party tackles the grueling ascent. Scouts of the Albert tribe glare from the skies, irritated to be ignored. Determined to demand respect, the petty flyers unleash a spiteful ambush. A volley of hard fruit pelts Akihito Machida, making him yell in surprise. Taking a hit, Olivia notes the fruit barrage raining from above. Flashing on command, edibility judgment scans the missiles and marks them as food. Akihito Machida roars in rage that food must never be squandered. Deftly gathering every piece, Akihito Machida stuns Olivia and the minion tribe. Baffled by the spectacle, the Albert tribe watches Akihito Machida radiate pure malice. Spinning to face the flyers, a chilling realization strikes Akihito Machida. Eyes narrowing with predatory hunger, he realizes these birds make fine meat. Status open flashes before the panicked pests, labeling them as edible game. Screaming in terror, the birds scatter before they get turned into dinner. Tama happily munches a dropped banana as Buchi marvels at the pest's retreat. Olivia praises Akihito Machida, awed that Pro of Preparation terrifies wild beasts. Without warning, a deep shudder rips through the stone beneath their boots. Gazing up at the trembling cliffs, Akihito Machida suspects an earthquake. Terror grips Buchi as he identifies the ominous sign of a colossal predator. Pointing to the clouds, the elder warns that the colossal rock has come home. Cracks split the rocky ridge as the gargantuan monster plunges from above. The brutal impact unleashes a blinding shockwave of dust and pulverized rock. Shrieking with deafening fury, the giant rock lands and blocks out the daylight. Akihito Machida gasps in utter shock, stunned by the monster's colossal proportions. Right alongside the first beast, a second colossal rock slams slams down. A third titan descends, locking its murderous eye upon the intruders. All three rock behemoths unleash a unified screech, primed to annihilate them. A glaring, bloodshot rock eye flashes with pure murderous intent. Bucci shrieks in panic that this crisis is completely lethal. One rock plunges down, aiming razor talons right at the minion tribe. Colossal claws crater the solid stone with earth-shattering force. Tama shrieks in terror, scrambling headfirst toward the nearest rocky refuge. He squeezes into a tight crevice just in the nick of time. Cruel, talons miss by inches as the minion tribe cats huddle in temporary safety. The second rock circles aloft, angling for a vicious dive on the intruders. Violent wing gusts buffet Akihito Machida, hurling him to the dirt. Olivia hauls him up, checking his health as he babbles at the beast's size. Bucci yells to Akihito Machida, demanding they flee into the thick forest. Springing up, the fighters follow the minion tribe to cover. Deep in the woods, Bucci explains the massive raptors cannot pursue them. Peering out, they watch all three rock beasts guard their nest. Gazing grimly, Olivia admits she can take down a single monster at most. Bucci agrees that a frontal assault is suicide, urging patience for a clear opening. Olivia beams with hunger, eager to hunt one beast for fine meat. Backing the plan of Akihito Machida to steal the eggs, Bucci maps out tactics. The minion tribe fits in crevices, but Akihito Machida and Olivia do not. Akihito Machida reveals that beginner's movement magic can warp a companion. Inspiration strikes Bucci, prompting him to unveil a clever plan. Gathering the party close, Akihito whispers the opening move of their plan. High on the cliffside nest, three massive rocks shift restlessly. One giant bird ruffles its plumage, preparing to launch into the sky. Low growls rumble between the rocks before one takes to the open skies. With one rock gone, only two remain to guard the colossal eggs. A sharp rustle snaps the heads of both nesting birds toward the bushes. Oranges thrown by hidden minion allies roll directly toward the nest. Drawn by the bright fruit, the two rocks gawk at the unexpected feast. Curiosity wins over duty, and the giant birds eagerly peck at the fruit. Concealed in the brush, Bucci and Tama whisper that the distraction worked. Tossing more fruit, the pair lures the massive beasts away from the nest. With the rocks occupied, Bucci signals Akihito that his moment has come. Akihito peers from behind a boulder, locking onto his narrow opening. Inside the nest rest two massive, pristine white eggs waiting for him. Creeping forward with silent steps, his heart pounds against his ribs. At the edge of the nest, his gloved fingers close over a giant egg. Grinning with resolve, he grips the massive egg to make his run. Muscles strain under an immense, shocking weight that defies belief. Grimacing with effort, he gasps at how ridiculously heavy the shell is. Olivia rushes to his side, asking why he is struggling to lift the egg. She steps in to lift it herself using her body enhancement skill. A clumsy handoff causes the shell to scrape loudly across the stone. One rock screeches in fury, its head snapping directly toward the sound. Horror grips them as their stealth plan crumbles in a single heartbeat. Akihito raises his axe, bracing himself to block the charging monster. Olivia shouts in alarm as the enraged rock barrels straight at them. Turning to face the threat, Akihito locks his gaze in grim resolve. Shouting for Olivia to duck, he shoves her behind him to shield her. He plants his feet as the sole wall between his friend and the behemoth. A massive beak slams down, hurling Akihito backward with brutal force. Trembling from the raw impact, he reels at such overwhelming power. That brutal shock came merely from parrying a single razor talon. Olivia yells that they must forge an opening if they want to escape. The enraged rock strikes again, its beak crashing down with lethal speed. Dodging the strike, Akihito roars that he will never yield the egg. His only mission is ensuring every member of his party gets back alive. Olivia watches him with wide eyes, deeply moved by his selfless bravery. The third rock swoops back, signaling to Bucci that time has run out. Bucci roars the next phase of the plan, screaming for a full retreat. Hearing the call, Akihito knows the exact maneuver to get them out. He yells to Olivia, ordering her to brace for his immediate cue. With a fierce cry, Olivia unleashes Vance to launch the heavy egg to him. Akihito catches the shell as she screams that their opening has cleared. Clutching the prize, Akihito triggers beginner's movement magic to camp. A blinding flash of light erupts, dazzling the two bewildered rocks. Both travelers crash onto the campsite grass in a dizzy, tangled heap. Olivia looks up at their familiar tent, gasping in pure relief at the sight. They clasp hands and break into laughter over their impossible getaway. Akihito collapses onto the dirt, drained dry by the demanding teleport. After brief apologies, concern turns toward the comrades left behind. Olivia reminds him of the rendezvous point waiting inside Minion Village. Both trek through the tranquil forest of towering spotted mushrooms. Olivia trusts the Minion tribe to navigate Marvel Island safely. Recalling the clever scheme from Bucci, Akihito trusts his companion. Reaching the village clearing, they spot their feline friends waiting safely. Bucci and Tama dash forward, overjoyed that Akihito and Olivia are safe. The entire settlement erupts in joy over the hunters and their huge prize. Grinning, Akihito asks Bucci what his secret escape strategy was. Puffing out his chest, Bucci proudly announces that he just ran away. The promise of homemade ice cream gave them all the courage they needed. Akihito spends 5 points to manifest a spherical ice cream cream maker for the party. Buchi and Tama inspect the bizarre sphere. Doubting it can produce real sweets. Eager minion helpers mix the rich rock egg yolk with fresh milk and sugar. Akihito asks Olivia to freeze the refrigerant pack with her ice magic. Smiling brightly, Akihito announces that all they must do now is roll the sphere. Young minion kittens squeal in delight, eagerly kicking and rolling the giant ball. Olivia watches the charming scene, utterly captivated by the adorable feline children. As the minion tribe gathers around, Akihito announces the treat is finished. Unscrewing the lid, he presents a bowl of velvety, perfectly churned ice cream. Every villager digs in, beaming with unbridled joy at the rich, decadent flavor. Cheers ring out for Akihito as the crowd demands a statue of him, making him blush. Stepping from the party, Olivia pulls him aside to give heartfelt thanks. He chuckles humbly, admitting he was only desperate to keep everyone safe. Her eyes shine with genuine admiration as she insists he fought like a hero. Blushing at the earnest praise, Akihito stammers out a quiet word of thanks. Olivia looks crestfallen as she sighs over failing to hunt any fresh meat. Uchi overhears her grumbling and asks if she wants meat. Earning an eager nod, he proposes a new hunting ground inside the caves, a haven packed with tasty prey. Olivia perks up at the prospect, repeating the word with keen excitement. Buchi describes a radiant underground realm packed with rare beasts and fine ingredients. Seeing everyone agree, Olivia turns her gaze directly toward Akihito. Fired up for the journey, Akihito points forward and announces a bold cave expedition. At the base of a rugged cliff, the pitch-black entrance of the cavern looms ahead. Ready for the trial ahead, Akihito and Olivia step toward the dark, foreboding chasm. Scanning the landmarks, Olivia confirms this is the exact cavern Buchi described. Before the gaping maw, she points out a strange totem carved to mark the threshold of the cave. Buchi inspects the totem and points to a clear 0 etched into its belly. That digit marks the threat ranking, meaning a flat 0 guarantees safe ground at the start. No dangerous monsters lurk near the mouth. Buchi concludes after reading the marker. Akihito figures the prime meat they want lies further down, where deadlier beasts roam. Her warrior pride ablaze, Olivia vows that she will hunt down the prize meat herself. Pausing on the spot, she admits she cannot navigate the deep darkness without a light. Holding out a lantern, Akihito flusters the night with his thoughtful gesture. Fingers brush for a quick second as he passes the lantern over to her. Jerking her hand back, Olivia stammers a frantic apology for jumping. Shyly smiling, she asks if taking charge of the lantern is truly acceptable. Flashing a warm grin, Akihito tells her she is welcome to carry the lamp. Olivia voices her thanks, grasping the handle with fresh determination. Holding the lantern high overhead, she leads the march deep into the cavern. Watching her lead the way, Akihito smiles fondly at her bold spirit. He pledges to back her up, knowing how hard she fights against her own fears. Together, they plunge into the gloom, pacing their steps with sharp vigilance. Further down the path, a massive hall opens up under a ceiling dotted with glowing lights. Uchi spots another totem carved with the number 1, signaling elevated danger ahead. Akihito finds the corridor quiet for now, but Olivia scans the gloom with unease. An eerie burst of spectral light streaks past Akihito, catching him off guard. That glow erupts from an enormous swarm of giant fluttering moth monsters. Grimacing at the swarm, Akihito sees countless fluttering beasts encircling them. Swatting frantically with both arms, he fails to push the dense swarm back. Olivia shouts his name through the chaos, demanding to know if he is unharmed. Drawn by the light, the frenzied insects dive straight toward her lantern. Gasps of alarm escape her lips as the dense cloud smothers their sole light source. Shouting Vance with sharp fury, she unleashes a violent tempest of wind. The ferocious gale rips through the swarm, hurling the bugs in every direction. Her wind magic clears the tunnel, leaving a heap of slain insects upon the cold rock. Glancing at the rock face, Akihito discovers a pale cluster of wild mushrooms clinging to the stone. Appraisal confirms these cave mushrooms are safe to eat and rich in flavor. Tama cheers, recalling Buchi promised to trade these mushrooms for cured bacon. Visions of savory bacon sautéed with fresh mushrooms fill Akihito as they collect the caps. Further along, Olivia spots a strange growth tucked into a dark crevice. Calling out to Akihito, she points toward what could be another tasty ingredient. Drawing closer, Akihito peers into the gloom to identify the strange, creeping plant. Olivia questions how flora survives without sunlight, and Akihito steps close to inspect it. The rocky cavern floor fractures open with a deafening, monstrous roar. Akihito yells for Olivia as a terrifying beast rips through the subterranean rock. Pure shock hits him as the terrifying silhouette reveals the beast in full size. An armored centipede towers overhead, leaving him breathless at its colossal scale. Lurching forward, the beast strikes, forcing Akihito to block with his heavy axe. Vicious mandibles snap with a sharp clatter inches above his head. Gulping nervously, Akihito names the centipede, making Olivia recoil in disgust. With a harsh roar, the armored beast lunges forward with gaping jaws. The violent collision knocks their sole lantern spinning through the dark air. Horror grips Olivia as she tracks the falling lantern tumbling toward the floor. Shattering against the wall, the lantern breaks and plunges them into pitch black. Driven by raw instinct, Akihito shoves Olivia behind his back and orders her to drop low. Bracing his feet, he lifts his axe to face the monstrous predator alone. Snapping mandibles clamp onto the axe blade, forcing him to strain against brutal strength. Gritting his teeth as muscles burn, he resists the crushing crushing force, pushing him backwards. Dodging its venomous legs is vital since a single scratch proves fatal. Inches from his face, the snarling beast tries to crush his defenses. Olivia screams his name in terror from the shadows behind him. Roaring with desperate resolve, Akihito pushes back with all his might. His explosive counterattack snaps one of the beast's giant mandibles clean in half. Riding the sudden opening, he channels his momentum to deliver the decisive blow. Black ichor sprays from the cracked jaw as the creature reels back in agony. Akihito leaps into the air, driving his axe down in a heavy overhead chop. The sharp blade embeds into the monster's skull with a sickening final crunch. Panting heavily from exhaustion, he stands victorious over the slain centipede. Turning to Olivia in pure disbelief, he asks if the creature is truly finished. Blushing with awe and relief, Olivia nods to confirm that he conquered the beast. Her words shower praise on his incredible feat, drawing a relieved chuckle from Akihito. Above the carcass, a chime announces a prompt from his unique camper ability. The prompt labels the beast as a Marvel giant centipede, rating it as conditionally edible. According to the log, boiling its meat yields the sweet taste and succulent texture of lobster. Disgust contorts the face of Akihito into a mask of utter horror. Alarmed by his twisted expression, Olivia asks if an unseen wound is causing him pain. Forcing a strained grin, he tells her the log claims this hideous bug tastes like lobster. Staring in frozen horror, Olivia struggles to process such a repulsive claim, waving both hands frantically. He retreats and claims he was only joking. Eating such a repulsive beast would require unmatched courage from anyone at the table. With the disgusting Marvel giant centipede dead, Akihito Machida and Olivia laugh it off together. Reaching toward the lantern, Akihito Machida loses his grip. Olivia watches in profile as the lantern clatters down the stone. Pitch blackness swallows them whole as their lone lantern dies. A piercing shriek rips from Olivia as she collapses, sobbing in terror. Akihito Machida shouts her name, stunned by her sheer panic. Down on her knees, her whole frame trembles uncontrollably with dread. His arms wrap around her instantly, offering steady comfort. Holding her close, he senses how deep her phobia runs and vows to stay near. Through ragged breaths, Olivia whispers a tearful apology for breaking down. Tightening his grip, he urges her not to apologize, desperate to find a new spark. Knowing their vulnerability in the dark, Akihito Machida seeks an exit. Steely resolve sets in his jaw, determined to keep her safe no matter what. Peering into the deep gloom, he spots a soft glow radiating further ahead. "Can you walk?" he asks, but she only shakes her head, frozen by terror. With no other choice, he bends down to lift her off the dirt. "Pardon me," he murmurs gently, scooping her up into his embrace. Carrying her forward, he enters a vast grotto sparkling with magnificent radiance. Speechless, they discover the source: countless massive magic stones. Gently setting her down, he suggests taking a quiet rest in this warm light. Overwhelmed and flustered, Olivia offers a soft, blushing nod of agreement. When another apology leaves her lips, he gently urges her to take it slow. A firm, comforting clasp of his hand gives her steady reassurance. Her safety matters above all else. He smiles with genuine warmth. Olivia gazes at him, her soft expression overflowing with gratitude. "Thank you," she whispers, squeezing his hand, touched by his devotion. Their lighthearted exchange breaks the lingering tension of the cave. Akihito Machida inspects a crystal, marveling at its radiant beauty. Olivia notes that the minion tribe trades these, making such large ore valuable. He cheerfully hands her the stones, but she insists they belong to the finder. "Take them as a souvenir," he urges, having no personal use for such ore. Flustered, she admits House Half Paimon has plenty of wealth already. Teasing him lightly, she listens as he counters that his real prize was the mushrooms. A genuine quiet laugh escapes Olivia, easing the last of her tension. Akihito Machida grins in relief to see her spirit bounce back. Her earlier breakdown weighs on him, clearly born from severe past trauma. Seeing the usually cheerful Olivia so thoroughly terrified shakes him. He feels certain that a dark, agonizing memory feeds this deep phobia. Looking up with absolute seriousness, Olivia calls out his name. Every action he took has always placed her safety and peace first. Trust takes root in her heart, deciding it is time to share her truth. She speaks his name once more to ensure his undivided attention. Her voice rings with resolve as she asks him to hear the truth of her past. Akihito Machida meets her gaze, listening with quiet solemnity. Sitting together in the glowing cavern, she prepares to lay bare her past. Sparkling crystals create a calm haven for the heavy confession ahead. Inside the grand grotto, the pair shares an intimate silence before she speaks. Though Akihito Machida wanted to know her past, hesitation grips him. Olivia knows he wonders about the origin of her paralyzing fear of darkness. He nods, prepared to shoulder whatever painful truth she carries. "I want to know everything," he assures her, touched by her bravery. Grateful for his gentle patience, Olivia offers him a tender smile. Her tale unfolds, rewinding to the tragic events of 1 year ago. 1 year prior, she served as a revered holy knight leading her platoon. The proud crest of House Half Paimon gleams brightly on her white cape. Adoring soldiers eagerly invite their commander to share a meal. Two envious nobles cut in, lying that she is already booked for their banquet. Her loyal troops glare at the intruders, fiercely defending her honor. Spiteful whispers spread among the nobles, bitter over her noble standing. One aristocrat mutters a nasty rumor about House Half Paimon. Their merchant fleet collapsed. He sneers, burying her kin and in debt. Her father, Marquis Half-Paimon, sits alone, worn down by exhaustion. The imposing aura of Marquis Half-Paimon instantly silences the gossips. Standing by himself, he reads the incoming letter with deep anguish. Crushing financial despair is etched across every line of his face. He steps toward Olivia, carrying the official seal of the estate. Reading the parchment, shock and utter disbelief wash over Olivia. Noticing her distress, her father asks what went wrong. Disaster struck again. Their primary merchant vessels sank at sea. To recover the loss, he took out an astronomical loan from creditors. Only one solution remains: a marriage proposal from Prince of Nissel. "If I marry Prince of Nissel," Olivia states calmly, "he clears all our debt." Tears of relief fill his eyes as she softly urges him not to worry. Closing her eyes, she accepts her noble duty to House Half-Paimon. A breathless soldier bursts into the room with urgent, terrifying news. The undead horde is flooding out of the cemetery toward Nottingham. Over 300 fiends swell the ranks of the undead horde. Olivia remembers the orphanage in Nottingham and the innocent children inside. Grim resolve hardens her face as she commands her platoon to mobilize. Mounted on horseback, she leads 72 soldiers against the undead horde. Brutal combat erupts against the relentless undead horde. Over 300 undead fiends swarm ahead of Olivia. A soldier urges waiting for backup, but Olivia refuses to delay. Halting the undead horde here remains vital to saving the trap. Glenn takes command of the defensive perimeter at her direct order. From atop her white steed, Olivia readies her hyper-aura sword. Radiant holy energy bursts outward, decimating the front line. Cheering soldiers praise Olivia before rushing to search for survivors. The path cleared, Olivia and her platoon storm into the church. Reaching the great hall with loud calls, they meet only grim silence. Olivia scans the dark church interior, desperate to spot survivors. Glenn looks on beside her, his face shadowed with worry. Reassuring words come from Olivia, urging him to stand firm. Flashing a confident smile, Olivia reminds him that she is a holy knight. A soldier discovers an inner side door bolted shut from within, calling through the wood. Olivia identifies her unit and offers rescue. When silence answers, Olivia decides to smash through the barrier. Splinters fly across the hall as Olivia kicks down the heavy door. Soldiers rush into the dark chamber with lanterns held high. Inside, the squad finally discovers a frightened group of children. Memories flood back of Olivia kneeling in armor. Happy the girl is safe. The young girl recognizes Olivia, asking about playing together again. That innocent smile twists into a monstrous grin, chilling the room. A guttural snarl tears from the throat of the cursed child. Olivia throws herself forward to shield her squad from the lunging fiend. Terror grips Olivia as the horrific slaughter unfolds before her. Painful memories pit the child's sweet laughter against undead ruin. Despair overwhelms Olivia as the vision of the innocent girl fades away. Raising a weapon, a soldier prepares to strike down the corrupted child. Olivia screams, ordering him not to harm the child. Confused by the frantic command, her subordinate glances back at Olivia. A frantic cry breaks out before undead fiends ambush him. Soldier Buffett screams in agony as sharp fangs bite into him. Blood covers Olivia as she screams for the nightmare to stop. Total darkness swallows the scene amid echoing chaos and terror. Closing her unit and the children broke Olivia, forcing her to resign her post. Marcus Half-Paimon orders her to forget the past and wed Prince of Nissel. Arriving to greet Olivia, Prince of Nissel claims he has awaited her return. Wealth from Kingdom of Nissel will rescue House Half-Paimon, buying her comfort. Blank stares from Olivia question what such hollow happiness truly offers. Submitting to this marriage strikes her as an inevitable noble duty. Olivia confides in Akihito Machida how that trauma bred her dread of the dark, blaming her own immaturity. Olivia holds herself responsible for the tragedy. Akihito Machida thanks her, yet strongly questions Prince of Nissel. Pain marks the face of Olivia as she confesses her embarrassing plight. Quietly, Akihito Machida asks if this is what she truly desires. Becoming a sacrificial pawn for House Half-Paimon strikes him as wrong. He rejects Prince of Nissel, but Olivia defends his kindness. In tears, Olivia asks why Akihito Machida treats her so harshly. Her sharp retort makes Akihito Machida flinch from his mistake. He apologizes to Olivia for raging over her family debt. Side explanations from Olivia urge him not to worry about noble custom. Her eyes widen as Olivia whispers, and yet Akihito Machida passionately vows that he wants her suffering to end. Deep emotion stirs Olivia, causing her to turn away with blushing cheeks. Clenching her fist, Olivia gives thanks but refuses to betray her clan. His expression softens as Akihito Machida decides not to push her, promising total silence. He appreciates that Olivia confided in him. Shifting her mood, Olivia boasts about her immense martial strength. Comical flexing follows as Olivia vows to fight, baffling Akihito Machida. Warm laughter breaks from Akihito Machida, glad for her comic relief. Bright laughter from Olivia echoes across the glowing cavern. A quiet thought dims the smile of Akihito Machida in the cave. Deep down, he wishes Olivia could stay on Marvel Island. Noticing his silence, Olivia asks if anything is wrong. Dismissing the mood, Akihito Machida suggests gathering magic stones. Hope sparks in Olivia, realizing great wealth can solve her trouble. Full of excitement, they agree to harvest all the ore they can carry. Grinning cheerfully, Bucci arrives with a large sack for the loot. Renewed vigor fills Olivia as she readies to hunt game and gather ore. Leaving, Akihito Machida admires the fortitude attitude of Olivia. Heavy scraping sounds echo from the shadowy entrance behind them. A sinister shadow stalks through the tunnel, trailing behind them. Dark shapes loom forward, filling the entire rock passage. Reaching the sunlight, Olivia proudly proclaims that she found them. Triumphantly, Olivia displays a sack packed with fresh cave mushrooms. Akihito Machida grins with relief that no underground monster appeared. Holding the harvest, Olivia remarks on their fragrant forest aroma. Playful teasing from Akihito Machida makes Olivia panic over her scent. Chuckling warmly, Akihito Machida suggests cooking outside the cave. In the cavern shadows, a hidden watcher notices their glowing magic stones. A sharp crack deep inside the cave startles both travelers. Heavy thuds shake the tunnel as a massive creature approaches. A monstrous saber boar charges out, malice burning in its eyes. Gasps of shock escape them both at the brute's arrival. Planting its hooves, the saber boar prepares to charge. Olivia shoves Akihito back, shouting that she will handle the beast. Golden energy flares as she activates body enhancement skill. Drawing her blade in a silver blur, she braces to meet the charge. The saber boar narrows its wicked gaze and thunders straight at her. Steel clangs against tusk as she blocks the ferocious assault. Her blade shatters instantly against the crushing power of the beast. Disbelief grips Akihito as Olivia gets sent flying by the brutal impact. The sheer kinetic force sends her skidding across the stone floor. Stumbling on loose rock, she fights to recover against the relentless rush. Akihito screams her name as the monster overpowers her defenses. Her instincts register the blazing speed and iron tusks of the foe. Realizing how deadly danger is, Akihito freezes in horror. Dread sets in as he sees that the attacks of Olivia cannot harm it. Desperate, he decides to use beginner's movement magic to escape. Focusing his intent, he tries warping both of them back to base camp. Mana flares around them, then collapses into nothingness. Alarmed confusion hits them both as the spell fails completely. Pure panic strikes Akihito as his spatial skill stays sealed. Olivia screams for him to run as the confident saber boar rushes in again. Thrusting Olivia back, Akihito raises his axe to make a desperate stand. Groaning under the crushing weight, he gasps that the beast is too heavy. Losing ground, he yells for Olivia to flee for her life. Despair grips Olivia as she refuses to leave him. Terror freezes both companions right in place. Pleading with her to escape, Akihito slips, but Olivia screams his name. A loud voice commands them from above to shut eyes and mouths tight. Recognizing the shout, both squeeze their eyes shut in confusion. A blinding flash erupts, filling the air with dense, choking smoke. Buchi emerges from the haze, urging them to run now. Two minion tribe allies grab the pair and haul them clear. Pointing towards safety, Buchi orders them up a steep rock ledge. Saluting with pride, Buchi explains a bad omen led him to track them down. Rubbing stinging eyes from the blast, Akihito thanks his furry savior. Brandishing a minion special pepper bomb, Buchi makes the beast sneeze. Up on the ledge, Buchi announces they need an escape plan fast. With alarm, Akihito finds beginner's movement magic stays blocked. Offering an apology, Buchi notes that magic stones jam spatial skills. A thunderous crash shakes the entire cliff face beneath their feet. Enraged, the saber boar rams the rock wall to collapse their perch. Breaking down the enemy tactic, Buchi alerts Akihito to their peril. Violent shocks hit the wall, knocking everyone off balance. When Akihito searches for a vulnerability, Buchi suggests an ambush. Inspiration strikes Akihito as he reviews his unique abilities. Activating Pro of Preparation, he scans the brute to uncover a weak spot. Found it, Akihito shouts, locating the vital vulnerability of the foe. A ray of hope returns to the determined face of Olivia. Olivia tells Akihito that creating an opening is a task she can easily handle. Akihito watches as the Holy Knight readies for direct combat. Vaulting down with fearless resolve, Olivia drops to face the saber boar. She meets the charging monster head-on with her formidable power. The tremendous impact showers the cavern in sparks and flying stone. Thrown off balance by her sheer power, the saber boar reels back. A massive shockwave ripples from the collision across the cavern walls. An explosion of kinetic force marks the peak of their fierce clash. Buchi cheers as Akihito lowers Olivia by rope, watching magic stones spark. Minion tribe scouts shout to lure the saber boar into position, trusting the plan to the strength of Olivia. Buchi gets her ready nod. Shaking its huge head, the saber boar recovers from the heavy blow. Steam billows from its snout as the furious saber boar prepares to charge. Shouting a warning, Buchi watches the enraged brute charge the snare. Tama shouts the signal as Olivia pulls the tripwire tight and casts Vance. Hurling forward, the saber boar catches its limbs with a loud snap. Tama cheers in triumph as the trap springs and sends the brute tumbling. Minion tribe allies yell to Akihito that the rest is up to him. Spotting the opening, Akihito charges forward with his Santoku knife ready. Calling out boldly, he invokes support craft, Pro of Preparation. Sprinting at the dazed beast, his focus stays absolute. The bewildered saber boar blinks upward in total confusion. In a daring slide, Akihito slips right beneath the massive belly. His skill confirms the saber boar is edible once its tusks are removed. Excited by the promise of meat, Olivia and the minion tribe offer help. Defeated, the dizzy saber boar collapses motionless on the floor. Back at base camp, Akihito tends a warm, crackling fire. Savoring roasted saber boar skewers, the whole party cheers at the feast. Olivia praises the delicious food, and Akihito agrees completely. completely. Buchi grins, savoring the simple joy of dining with true companions. Dining alongside companions fills Akihito with genuine joy and deep gratitude. He thanks them all, and the minions return his heartfelt appreciation. Gazing warmly at Akihito, Olivia speaks his name with quiet tenderness. Buchi insists he only did what was right, though Tama teases his pride. High praise comes from Buchi, who calls Akihito a loyal, caring ally. Hearing them call him a comrade brings a grateful smile to Akihito. Laughing, he tells everyone to drop the embarrassing praise and eat. Recalling the magic stones, he notes how many shattered during combat. Olivia presents intact crystals, beaming that they gathered more than enough. Deep gratitude warms her voice toward him and their loyal companions. Returning to the cave to gather more crystals sounds great to Akihito. Buchi offers to help, joking that Akihito would be helpless alone. Refusing to let Buchi take all the fun, Tama demands to come too. Laughter breaks out as Tama steps up to keep Buchi in check. Olivia stifles a gentle giggle at the playful banter of the minions. Checking on Olivia, Akihito finds her fetching water with a soft smile. Rest turns tense as rustling leaves in the brush put all on alert. From behind a tree trunk, a watchful stranger mutters he found them. Stepping out, a wolf samurai identifies Olivia as his marked prey. Her distinct twin-tail locks catch his watchful eyes. Grasping his hilt, the warrior brands her an enemy of his lord. Back at camp, the peaceful celebration rolls on. Olivia pours a cool, refreshing drink into a bowl. Eyes closed in tranquility, she sips the drink in deep peace. A soft, satisfied sigh escapes her. She calls to Akihito as meat skewers roast over the campfire. With pure delight on his face, Tama eagerly asks for seconds. Akihito cautions Tama not to overeat, but the minion waves it off. Tama finds the roast meat even tastier because all work together. Another meat skewer is quickly passed to Buchi. Watching from the brush, the samurai assumes a cunning demon tricked the minions. Offered another skewer by Akihito, Olivia politely declines. Charging from the trees, the warrior vows to slay the foul demon. Akihito and the minions stand stunned by the aggressive ambush. Leaping high into the air, the wolf warrior demands a swift duel. Crying out for Olivia in panic, Akihito tracks the falling foe. Lunging before Olivia, he blocks the katana with a heavy frying pan. Steel clangs against iron with a sharp, ringing blast. Olivia thanks Akihito for shielding her, asking if he is hurt. Fury surges in her chest as she turns toward the brazen attacker. With a sharp cry, she blasts the samurai backward using Vance. Flung backward, the wolf warrior lands gracefully on his feet. Shock overtakes him, stunned by the incredible power of Olivia. Aggression melts into infatuation, his gaze turning dreamily soft. Though minions try to calm him, he insists a dangerous demon lurks near. No explanation can convince the samurai that humans are peaceful beings. Knowing that the warrior knows, Tama gives Akihito hope for peace. Mocking the frying pan of Akihito, the samurai refuses his words. Growling, he insists predatory demons remain sworn enemies of his lord. As he lunges, Akihito shoves a hot skewer into his jaws to hush him. Mouthfuls of rich meat immediately stun the angry warrior to silence. Stepping closer, Olivia calmly urges him to eat and talk in total peace. Savory meat juices burst on his tongue, overwhelming the wolf warrior. Reverence fills him for a lady so powerful and wise. Bowing in deep apology, he gives his name as Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi. Akihito learns that Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi chased rumors of a demon. Buchi and Tama sigh heavily over the volatile temper of the warrior. Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi grumbles that he only sought harmony with minions. Shame strikes Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi for nearly slaying an innocent man. He dramatically offers to commit seppuku until the anger of Olivia is appeased. To make peace, Akihito Machida silently offers a skewer of fresh grilled meat. Beaming, Olivia asks Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi if it is good. Delighted, Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi calls the skewers made by Olivia the best. With a bright smile, Olivia gives all the cooking credit to Akihito Machida. They trade humble praise, each acknowledging how much the other has helped. Listening, Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi quietly wishes to cook meals for Olivia. Praise from Olivia for his blades only agitates Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi more. Jealousy erupts as he berates Akihito Machida for lacking sword skills. Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi challenges a wary Akihito Machida to a duel. Refusing the pointless clash, Akihito Machida questions Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi. Tama frantically tries to calm both men as Olivia begins to falter. First to spot her distress, Tama rushes over and asks what is wrong. Olivia weakly insists all is fine, even as her body starts to collapse. Akihito Machida catches her as Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi cries in alarm. He holds her limp form, shouting for Olivia as the minion tribe gasps. Inside the tent, Tama keeps a solemn vigil over the unconscious Olivia. Water is quickly fetched in a pot to help bring down her fever. Carefully, Akihito Machida carries the pot of cool water to the tent. Returning to camp, Akihito Machida finds Tama, who warns Olivia burns with fever. Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi seeks answers, yet Tama urges him to remain quiet. Sweat beads heavily across Olivia as the raging fever consumes her. Watching over her, Akihito Machida wears a look of profound worry. Exhaustion caused the collapse, Tama warns, urging them to cool her body down. Akihito Machida fetches water so Tama can lay a cool, damp cloth on her brow. vow. Bitter dread strikes him. His immunity skill is useless for saving her here. Gaining a desperate idea, he rests his palm upon her burning head. Channeling basic recovery magic, he prays the spell is enough to heal her. Golden magic pulses, sending a solitary tear down her flushed cheek. Her eyes flutter open, weakly calling his name as he leans over her. He apologizes for noticing late, but she insists she already feels better. Offering gentle comfort, she asks him not to fret before her eyes shut. Violent coughing cuts her off in agony, alarming everyone around her. Despair takes hold as he finds his magic far too weak to cure her. Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi asks for medicine, but Tama doubts it will work. Tama recalls an old legend of a panacea ingredient resting at a lakebed. Seizing this new hope, Akihito Machida demands to know where the lake is. Buchi warns that these deep lethal waters are shunned by the minion tribe. Undaunted, Akihito Machida vows to retrieve the cure himself. Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi watches him with a rigid glare. Objecting fiercely, the samurai insists he alone should brave the danger. Akihito Machida stands firm, confident his unique skills will protect his life. His driving motive is absolute, an overwhelming desire to rescue Olivia. Spurred by guilt, he refuses to carry any more regrets over her safety. Nothing will deter his quest, regardless of whatever grave peril awaits. The minion tribe watch on, deeply moved by his iron resolve to save Olivia. Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi relents, though his stern glare stays tense. At the lake, Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi turns the rescue quest into a contest. Both rivals face the water's edge, intense energy crackling between them. Akihito Machida doubts the wager, but Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi mocks him. Calmly, Akihito Machida affirms his only goal is saving Olivia. Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi shares the drive, honoring Olivia as his savior. Calling Akihito Machida weak, he scoffs that the boy cannot guard her. Hurling a taunt, Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi dives in to launch the race. Shouting that victory is his, he swims rapidly outward from the bank, gathering focus. Akihito Machida knows this rescue is no game. Taking his first stride, he wades into the icy chill of the dark lake. Vowing to rescue Olivia, he plunges headfirst into the murky depths. Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi dives deeper, seeking the medicinal herb. Cutting through the lake, Akihito Machida shows absolute resolve. An unseen force grabs Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi from the deep abyss. A massive grip snares his leg, halting his swim cold in the dark current. Yanked violently downward, he vanishes entirely underneath the surface. Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi surfaces, sputtering and gasping for air. Akihito Machida asks, yet Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi sights a drag from below. Pressed on what struck him, Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi sights a fierce surge. A strange glimmer on the ripples catches the eye of Akihito Machida. Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi grimaces, sensing a rising hidden threat. He alerts Akihito Machida to a monstrous presence lurking beneath. Bubbles break the surface as a massive beast stirs along the lakebed. Peering into the depths, Akihito Machida confirms an enemy waits below. Both warriors stare down, wondering what nightmare lurks below. Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi orders Akihito Machida back to dive alone. As Akihito Machida protests, a watery tendril snaps around his ankle. The crushing tendril tightens, locking around his leg with cruel force. Akihito Machida sinks fast, stunning Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi. Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi shouts his rival's name in genuine horror, submerged in the black void. Akihito Machida realizes he is trapped. Helpless in the depths, he is hauled downward by a ferocious current. Twin monstrous fish emerge, whipping the water into a wild whirlpool. Horror grips him as he sees he must confront two leviathans at once. The vicious maelstrom churns violently, sucking everything into its maw. One leviathan opens its massive jaws, seeking to pull him inside. Massive jaws snap shut like giant shears, missing his body by inches. Dodging the attack by a hair, he exhales a breath of tense relief. A strange radiance catches his gaze through the murky dark waters. Resting on the lakebed, the glowing medicinal herb gleams softly. Certainty hits him. This is the exact cure they came here to claim. The coil violently wrenches him backward, ripping him from his prize. Snared by giant whiskers, he knows he must cut himself free. Air runs thin in his burning lungs as cold panic begins to take hold. Water resistance drags at him, making every move agonizingly slow. Strength drains from his body, leaving him sinking towards certain defeat. Steel flashes as Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi cuts the whisker to save him. Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi swims to rescue his drowning rival. Snatching him tight, the samurai pulls him swiftly toward the surface. Their hands strike the rocky shore as both scramble out of the water. Battered and breathless, both collapse onto the bank, gasping for air. Akihito Machida thanks him, but Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi shrugs it off. Spitting lake water, Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi coughs beside Akihito Machida. Blushing, Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi turns away and declares his debt fully settled. Moved by the honorable gesture, Akihito Machida calls out to his proud rival. Akihito Machida offers heartfelt thanks, but Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi shoves him away. Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi swears off the trap, prepared to dive back alone. Shocked, Akihito Machida decries Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi, fighting two beasts alone. Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi fights for Olivia, but Akihito Machida demands a strategy. Facing a brutal aquatic disadvantage, edge. Akihito Machida asks for time to think. As Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi yells there is no time, Akihito Machida seeks a skill. Finding the underwater walking skill, he hails it as their only path to victory. With fierce resolve, Akihito Machida unlocks the magic and proposes teaming up. Akihito Machida proposing teamwork leaves Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi bewildered. Having unlocked the buff, Akihito Machida prepares to share it with his rival. Granted 4 minutes of air, Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi remains skeptical. For the sake of Olivia, Akihito Machida passionately begs to join their strength. Sweat drips from his brow as Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi weighs the desperate plea, sword locked between his jaws. Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi dives back in. Side by side, both fighters plunge into the dark, monster-infested depths. Once submerged, Akihito Machida marvels at his clear, effortless breathing. Seeing Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi glide with ease, he calls to his ally. 2 colossal fish emerge from the dark as Akihito Machida shouts a warning. The hideous anglerfish monster unleashes a silent roar and charges straight ahead. Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi intercepts the charging beast to take it on alone. Lashing its long whiskers, the giant catfish strikes at Akihito Machida. Akihito Machida shouts as the beast sends Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi flying. Fixing its cold glare on Akihito Machida, the giant catfish lunges forward. He severs the whiskers with a santoku knife, but they instantly regenerate. Down on the lake floor, the glowing medicinal herb gleams just out of reach. Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi draws the aggro, urging Akihito Machida toward the plant. With only minutes left on the clock, Akihito Machida feels the pressure mount. Those constantly regrowing whiskers push Akihito Machida to pure frustration. A brilliant plan forms as Akihito Machida recalls his pro of preparation. The monster snares Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi, making Akihito Machida scream in alarm. Pinned by the wrist, Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi waits as Akihito Machida dives in. Insight strikes Akihito Machida. He must tangle the whiskers instead of cutting. He urges Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi to hold on as he swims toward the beast. With fierce grit, Akihito Machida seizes the monster's thick, slimy whisker. Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi is pulled straight toward the monster's jagged maw. A violent vortex churns as the beast pulls in the trapped Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi. Trapped in the swirling surge, Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi fights for his survival. Cutting through the current, Akihito Machida reaches Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi. The creature opens its massive jaws, poised for the fatal strike, invoking pro of preparation. Akihito Machida ties the whiskers into a knot. Losing its grip, the beast frees Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi from its hold. Released from the whisker, Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi tumbles in the dark water. Task accomplished, Akihito Machida powers toward the surface with all his might. Gasping for air, both fighters collapse on the shore after surviving the ordeal. Sprawled across the rocks, they marvel at their narrow escape from death. Clutching the rare cure, Akihito Machida prepares to rush back to Olivia. Back at camp, the tent stands quiet beneath the looming canopy of trees. Inside the tent, the precious healing herbs are ground into a fine paste. Resting on her mat, Olivia lets out a soft moan as consciousness returns. The minion tribe cheers in relief as the medicine takes effect on Olivia. Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi asks Olivia if she is well, his voice full of care. Weak but grateful, Olivia looks up and offers sincere thanks for the help. Her eyes scan the tent before landing on Akihito Machida, calling his name. Akihito Machida rushes to her bedside, overwhelmed by sheer relief. He beams with joy, thrilled that the cure worked and Olivia is safe. Olivia offers a warm, reassuring smile, confirming she is feeling well now. Urged by Akihito Machida to rest, Olivia happily agrees to stay still. Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi watches the tender moment with quiet gravity. Seeing her relieved smile, he notes the deep trust she places in Akihito Machida. Akihito Machida praises Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi for his brave sword fight. Olivia adds her heartfelt thanks, admitting she could not manage alone. Flustered, Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi credits Akihito Machida with the victory. Akihito Machida merely smiles as silent respect passes between the rivals. Unused to praise, Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi grumbles at the warm atmosphere. Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi vows revenge as Akihito Machida offers a laugh. Buchi and Tama tease Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi, surprising Akihito Machida. Wan Yudo Noa Harukimi secretly admits Akihito Machida saved the mission. Touched by the reluctant praise, Akihito Machida blushes with gratitude. The companions playfully gather around, urging the rivals to make peace. Quiet returns to the campsite as their simple tent rests in the woods. Holding a bowl of fruit, Akihito Machida hopes Olivia can eat something. The minion tribe offers thanks, noting the fruit will restore her vitality. Akihito Machida knows food alone cannot ensure her long-term safety. Recalling the fierce storm, he realizes a flimsy tent cannot protect them. He pledges to do everything possible, so Olivia leaves Marvel Island safely. Noticing his serious look, the minion tribe asks what he plans next. Turning away for a moment, Akihito Machida sets his mind on a grand build. Bowl in hand, Akihito Machida announces his grand plan to upgrade the tent. Across the way, a bespectacled cat girl offers a confident thumbs up. Two boys cheer eagerly for their cool big brother Hirotaka. Hirotaka smirks, vowing to show them what a true adventurer can achieve. Fixing their living quarters will help everyone, Akihito Machida realizes. Watching Olivia rest confirms that a real home is what she truly needs. Stepping forward with resolve, he prepares to build a fortress against all threats. This belief washes over his companions as they sweat drop at his wild declaration. Pointing toward the timber stack, he plans to use the wood Olivia gathered. Amazed, the minion tribe asks if he can truly build a disaster-proof house. Gazing at the timber pile, Akihito Machida quietly weighs the massive task. Doubts ripple through the minion tribe as he assesses his crafting skills. Needing expert guidance, he invokes status open to consult a professional. High above, the lush, dense canopy stretches across the vibrant forest. An adorable girl from the minion tribe arrives to offer the savior aid. Charmed by her, Akihito Machida grins as Yudo Noaharu Kimi scoffs. Tama quickly corrects him, pointing out that this is the real Marin. Marin's face turns grim as a menacing, furious aura erupts all around her. Shifting into a fierce foreman, she orders everyone to build the ultimate house. Tama explains her wild temper shift, leaving Akihito Machida utterly stunned. Cheerfully, Akihito Machida offers to haul lumber with Yudo Noaharu Kimi. Yudo Noaharu Kimi trips under a log, prompting concern from Akihito Machida. The samurai insists on working alone, but Akihito Machida warns of a fall. Annoyed, Yudo Noaharu Kimi snaps at Akihito Machida to watch his step. Shoving Akihito Machida back, he snaps that useless deadweight should leave. In silence, Akihito Machida fears Yudo Noaharu Kimi is angry. Yudo Noaharu Kimi fumes, frustrated that he failed to be useful to Olivia. Today marks the day Akihito Machida can finally spin his skill point roulette. Spinning the skill point roulette lands a massive 3-2 points, raising his pool to 3-9. The level up unlocks powerful new sub-skills for his tent building abilities. A brand new gold tier unlocks on his food gacha, perfect for a celebration. Yudo Noaharu Kimi gives a deadpan glare at his bizarre, excited muttering. Excited about a feast, Akihito Machida plans to celebrate the recovery of Olivia. All he truly wants is for her to recover and live a happy life. Yudo Noaharu Kimi listens intently with a serious, unreadable mask. The samurai asks Akihito Machida if he plans to stay here with Olivia. With a sad smile, Akihito Machida admits Olivia must go home without him. Yudo Noaharu Kimi asks why he will not go, but her status is complex. With genuine care, Yudo Noaharu Kimi asks if he is at peace. Though lonely, the pure happiness of Olivia matters most to Akihito Machida. Right now, he vows to forge as many joyful memories for her as possible. Such heartfelt honesty leaves Yudo Noaharu Kimi utterly stunned, muttering that humans make no sense. The warrior baffles Akihito Machida. From the woods, Buchi calls out urgently for Akihito Machida. Buchi rushes over, declaring that Marin is facing a crisis and needs rapid help. Back at the edge of the dense forest stands their modest camp tent. Marin frets over the timber shortage, stalling the new house construction. Given the immense size of the build, Akihito Machida foresees longer timelines. The minion tribe offers to send more workers to accelerate the construction. A minion tribe worker struggles to drive a heavy wooden post into place. Observing the struggle sparks an idea in Akihito Machida. Remembering his pile driver ability, he steps up to put it into action. He takes the heavy mallet from a minion tribe worker to take over. Gripping the mallet tight, he prepares to unleash his newest skill, channeling body enhancement skill. He slams the massive mallet downward with fierce power. A single strike drives the post deep, leaving the minion tribe in awe. Triumphantly, Akihito Machida announces he can secure every post in moments. The minion tribe cheers over the incredible boost in speed. Yudo Noaharu Kimi watches, acknowledging his rival's great prowess. Akihito Machida turns to Yudo Noaharu Kimi to ask a vital favor. Yudo Noaharu Kimi huffs in assent as a minion tribe cat smiles. Axe in hand, Akihito Machida faces a towering tree to solve their lumber problem. Swinging the axe, he strikes with practiced power. His wood-cutting finesse has reached new heights thanks to the camper class. With a sharp crack, the gigantic trunk groans and begins to topple. Calling for backup, Akihito Machida finds Yudo Noaharu Kimi eager to help. Drawing his katana, Yudo Noaharu Kimi cuts in a blinding blur. Another massive trunk crashes down, cleanly severed by masterclass swordsmanship. The minion tribe marvels at their coordination, but Yudo Noaharu Kimi shrugs. Grasping a hammer, a minion tribe builder feels fresh inspiration burn. Marin rallies the crew, demanding they finish the house in one push. The whole minion village unites in a joyful, bustling surge of construction. Taking a break, Akihito Machida shares a meal with his hardworking allies. Night falls over the quiet forest under a blanket of peaceful stars. Inside the tent, a resting figure stirs from a deep slumber. Stretching weary arms, she finally awakens after days of rest and healing. Olivia sits up, wondering how long she has been asleep. Faint memories drift back of gentle care from Akihito Machida and Tama. Hearing a commotion, she opens the tent flap to see what is going on. Before her stands a complete log cabin, surrounded by by the cheering minion tribe. Olivia freezes in utter disbelief, unable to process the sight before her. Thomas scurries to her side, joyfully checking if she feels recovered. The minion tribe gathers close, proud to reveal the shelter built for her. They cheer that the whole project came from Akihito Machida himself. Tears well in Olivia upon learning this incredible gift is solely for her. Her relief halts the moment an utterly bizarre display catches her eye. Two crude wooden effigies depict her and Akihito Machida hailed as saviors. Members of the minion tribe insist these figures are vital and sacred. Relief floods Akihito Machida as he rushes over to find Olivia awake. He gently urges her not to strain herself during her recovery. Teary-eyed, Olivia asks how she could ever repay him for such a haven. A warm smile follows as he reassures her to focus solely on resting. To put her at ease, he clarifies the house features 2 private rooms. As Akihito Machida suggests moving the statues, the minion tribe protests. The minion tribe proclaims it a supreme honor to praise their savior. Sweat beads on Akihito Machida, flustered by such an exaggerated display of love, covering her mouth. Olivia whispers how overjoyed and deeply grateful she feels. Pure joy glows on her face, declaring that meeting everyone brought true happiness. Her heartfelt words deeply move Akihito Machida and the minion tribe. Cheers erupt from the minion tribe, announcing a feast for the new home. Caught up in the celebratory mood, Akihito Machida beams with delight. Offering to cook for all, he proposes a lavish beachside barbecue with ice cream. Eager to show her gratitude, Olivia insists on helping him prepare the feast. Akihito Machida seizes this ideal moment to activate his food gacha. Selecting the gold tier, he aims for a magnificent treat for their banquet. A luxury box materializes, containing vintage wine alongside gourmet snacks. He celebrates the jackpot victory, leaving Olivia wide-eyed with astonishment. Toby arrives with a fresh catch of fish, earning warm praise from Olivia. With her hair tied back, Olivia proudly presents skewers of grilled fish. In the forest clearing, the whole found family shares a lively barbecue feast. Radiant smiles light Olivia, delighted by how delicious dining together feels. Watching her glow with joy, Akihito Machida feels deep contentment. Her radiant smile is the one treasure that matters most to him. A bittersweet ache grips him, wishing they could remain together forever. Aware it is an impossible dream, he cannot suppress the deep longing. Far across the distant horizon, a massive warship sails toward the island. Cutting through rough waves, the majestic galleon closes in on the shore. Standing on deck, Prince of Nissel commands his crew to scour every island. Gazing over the waves, he vows to track down Olivia, certain she survives. A sinister, possessive smirk forms as he proclaims he will claim his bride. The royal vessel navigates choppy waters, approaching a rugged mountainous coast. In the crow's nest, a lookout scans the rocky coastline with a spyglass. Grotesque, multi-eyed devil rats swarm aggressively among the jagged rocks. Sounding the alarm from aloft, the scout warns of monstrous beasts below. Scouts inform Prince of Nissel that no trace of human life exists on the isle. Hearing the report, he orders the ship to abort landing near the deadly shore. An officer reports to Prince of Nissel that reaching the next isle takes days. Though Prince of Nissel curses the delay, he trusts Olivia awaits his arrival. Clenching his fist, he envisions his bride weeping helplessly in isolation. Theatrically clutching his chest, he assumes she yearns for his heroic rescue. "Just wait for me, Olivia," he bellows pompously as the flagship sails off. The vessel resumes its slow trek across the endless open waters. Back on the beach, Olivia asks who wants another scoop of ice cream. Delighted members of the minion tribe cheer, queuing up for another bowl. When Akihito Machida feels satisfied, Olivia offers to handle the serving. Smiling warmly, he insists on dishing out a generous bowl for her first. As Akihito Machida serves the minion tribe, Olivia watches him with fondness. Holding her bowl, she gazes at Akihito Machida in quiet contemplation. Festive laughter rings out beside their newly built wooden cabin. Everywhere around them, the minion tribe revels in pure, sweet bliss. Bucci steps up to a pensive Olivia, asking what thoughts trouble her. She remarks that only through Akihito Machida can everyone share such joy. Olivia admits she constantly leans on Akihito Machida and yearns to repay him. Bucci instantly suggests finding him a wonderful gift. That single idea strikes Olivia like lightning, widening her eyes. At nightfall, an intoxicated Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi offers Olivia wine. Already tipsy, Olivia gladly agrees to cast aside noble etiquette tonight. From afar, Akihito Machida smiles, glad to see Olivia unwind so freely. At dawn, Akihito Machida stretches under the breathtaking morning sky. Memories return of meeting Olivia and fighting the Marvel giant centipede. A gentle smile graces him as he recognizes how close he and Olivia grew. He treasures granting Olivia such genuine joy. A deafening explosion shatters the tranquility of his morning reverie. Spinning around in shock, cold sweat drips down his startled face. Ahead lies a colossal crater where thick woods once stood obliterated. Terrified, he struggles to fathom what unleashed such devastation. Stumbling clumsily, an intoxicated Olivia emerges from the doorway. Flashing a goofy grin, she invites Akihito Machida to drink with her. Akihito Machida asks Juan Yudo Noaharu Kimi, who looks away in deep shame. A flashback reveals a pouting Olivia, demanding why Akihito Machida refused a cup. Overcome by grief, Olivia unleashes a catastrophic burst of destructive magic. A few days pass across Marvel island as daily life returns to normal. Two members of the minion tribe marvel at the spacious quarters of Akihito Machida. Both peek into the new log cabin with genuine wonder on their faces. Wan Yudo Noaharu Kimi explains the drunken chaos to a weary Akihito Machida. He sternly warns Akihito Machida never to let Olivia touch alcohol again. Inside the cabin, fresh soup bubbles cheerfully on the stove. Wan Yudo Noaharu Kimi asks Akihito Machida if dinner is ready yet. With Olivia ready to eat, Wan Yudo Noaharu Kimi dismisses food from Akihito Machida. The wolf warrior proposes finding a quiet spot, agreeing to eat only for today. Eyes lighting up, Olivia timidly asks if they could venture into the cave. Akihito Machida immediately agrees, finding the cave trip a great idea. Olivia cheers with joy, yet Wan Yudo Noaharu Kimi complains she should help with the meal. With a resolute gaze, Olivia resolves to find an amazing present for Akihito Machida. The three gather at the dark cavern mouth beside an odd cat-shaped statue. Wan Yudo Noaharu Kimi scoffs at stone, and Olivia wonders why Akihito Machida likes it. Inside, Akihito Machida sees a dazed Olivia and asks if she feels fine. She asks for a brief moment, bracing her courage against the heavy darkness. A gentle, understanding look washes across Akihito Machida. Now is the ideal moment to spend the skill points hoarded so carefully. In a flare of light, he pulls three powerful headlamps from his menu. Olivia marvels at the brilliant gear, thrilled that both her hands remain free. Akihito Machida chooses to unlock another skill before advancing further. Brimming with fresh confidence, Olivia boldly announces that it is time to move. Her spirited bounce draws a warm chuckle from Akihito Machida. He cautions her to stay close because unknown dangers lurk in the dark. Wan Yudo Noaharu Kimi warns Akihito Machida will spring the traps. Olivia examines the rocky walls, hunting for a treasure that would make a fine gift. Unsure of his exact taste, she remains fully determined to find what brings him pure joy. The cat statue marks their entry straight into the level 3 danger zone. Gripping his axe, Akihito Machida warns everyone to stay alert for monsters. High above, Olivia spots a faint glow tucked inside a dark crevice. She scales the vertical cliff face with remarkable grace and speed. Reaching the high ledge, she finds a single radiant magic stone. Holding the crystal, she admires its lovely form and soft, colorful glow. Smiling happily, she knows this gem is the perfect match for Akihito Machida. Without warning, a menacing shadow looms over her from behind. From below, Akihito Machida looks up and shouts her name in alarm. Dread fills his face as his eyes widen in total horror. A monstrous bone spider creeps out from the shadows behind the unaware Olivia. Startled by the shout from Akihito Machida, she turns in pure confusion. A sharp twitch hits Akihito Machida as his unique skill flashes to life. Edibility Judgment exposes the venom of the bone spider and reveals its vital weak point. He yells for Wan Yudo Noaharu Kimi to cut the thread. Wan Yudo Noaharu Kimi roars, buffing his muscles as he leaps in. Barking at Olivia to drop low, he curses the foul beast before him. Moving in a deadly blur, his katana hacks relentlessly through the monster legs. Above, Wan Yudo Noaharu Kimi warns Akihito Machida of the drop. Akihito Machida settles his footing, enhancing his physical power. His axe blade gleams as he prepares to deliver a crushing impact. Leaping down, he drives his axe with brutal force, shattering the spider skull. Olivia and Wan Yudo Noaharu Kimi look on as the monster collapses. When loose rocks collapse, Akihito Machida quickly covers Olivia from falling stones. Hovering over her with a smoking lamp, he checks if she is safe. The intense headlamp beams cross directly into their faces, making both flinch. Wan Yudo Noaharu Kimi points at the exposed wall, asking what it is. Akihito Machida discovers rich pink gold rock salt, celebrating this lucky strike. He eagerly explains to a quiet Olivia what delicious meals they can now prepare. Wan Yudo Noaharu Kimi happily chews on a discarded spider bone. Clutching her chest, Olivia admits that broth made from the monster bone smells tempting. Overcome by remorse, Olivia apologizes for her reckless choices and the trouble she caused. With a sharp finger snap, Akihito Machida announces the test of a fresh skill. Opening a dimensional storage vortex, he cheerfully urges them to stow everything inside. They load in chunks of heavy rock salt, celebrating this convenient power. With all loot stored safely away, the group heads toward the cave exit for some rest. Outside, Wan Yudo Noaharu Kimi proudly carries a bone from the big catch. A frantic Buchi sprints toward them, shouting in distress that a disaster has struck. Pointing in horror toward the coast, he reveals that a massive human ship has anchored. Akihito Machida and Olivia stand frozen, realizing their peaceful days have ended.